Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. Joe Murray with you tonight until 11 o'clock here on the night show. On 98.5 The Sports Hub. Skaz is here. I'm here. And you can join us on YouTube tonight. Just go to youtube.com and then find 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm in there right now. I just jumped in. I already see P-Funk in there saying Mighty Joe Murray. And I am mighty. And I'll be here all night long, and we're going to open up Patriots. We will talk some Red Sox as well. We can't forget about our daily Celtics reminder that they are the NBA champions. Tons of audio. We got tons of guests tonight as well. And, of course, you can call in at 617-779-0985. What do you think about what Alex Van Pelt said today, everybody? And I told you, don't bite the cheese. Don't bite the cheese. And I said this yesterday, so I'm going to double down on it tonight. There is no QB competition. What a joke. What a joke. Gerard Mayo preaches a QB competition every single day. And then they send out the head coach of the offense. The offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, came out today and said Drake May can't get reps with the top team because Jacoby Brissett's the starter. There is no competition. There's never been a competition. What happened was the Patriots tried to bring in guys to install a new offense, and everyone turned them down. Everybody. So then what happened? Alex Van Pelt comes in. He's got a relationship with Elliott Wolf. Was obviously in Cleveland and did some good work there, but was fired. And by the way, is still under contract by them. So the Patriots don't have to pay him. So they bring him in. And now he installs a brand new offense. But what does he need? He needs a guy that has run the offense before to put it into place. Now, Drake May has never run the offense. Therefore, he's going to tell you that Drake May is not ready. And I'll get into that in a minute here. But from Mayo preaching competition to Van Pelt saying that Drake May can't get reps because of Jacoby Brissett, it's lip service. It's definitely Mayo talking out of both sides of his mouth. I mean, I'm pretty sure Van Pelt's been transparent here, but Bill Belichick used to give us nothing. Nothing. And I loved it. And now the talking from each side has gotten even worse. Van Pelt literally came out today and made Mayo look foolish. He made him look foolish. Mayo saying all these things to what? Get Patriots fans excited? To have the media work extra hard? To get more questions on Drake May? What is it? Is it coming from ownership? Probably. Van Pelt made Mayo look foolish today. Quote, is there still a chance for Drake May to be the week one starter in Cincinnati? Alex Van Pelt, I'm sure, Mayo said it's an open competition. I'm sure there's a chance. Van Pelt also talks a bit about May's much-discussed development plan. Oh, the old development plan. Oh, does a development plan have anything to do with being the starter or being the quarterback of the team? It just so happens that Alex Van Pelt brought up winning now. Oh, so he wants to win right away. So there's no way Drake May would ever been the quarterback, people. Don't bite the cheese on this team. The things they say, it's all lip service. It's been lip service. And when Bill Belichick was here, at least he said nothing. And it was the shield for anything else with ownership. There's a plan in place not to play this kid because they can't protect him. That's it. He might be the best quarterback right now on the roster, but you know what? He's not the best quarterback for Alex Van Pelt's offense. That's where we're at right now. And it's about Van Pelt winning now. We've talked about this before. We brought it up. We have said, hey, is Drake May the right guy? Sorry, is Drake May the right guy for an Alex Van Pelt offense? Is Van Pelt the right guy to work with Drake May? It's what's great for Alex Van Pelt is it what's best for the Patriots. There's some personal interest, a lot of personal interest going on in this team. Not to mention all the players that got signed and got extensions. There's a lot on the line for Alex Van Pelt. There's a lot on the line for Elliott Wolf. And I'm sure there's a lot on the line when it comes to Gerard Mayo. But it's so laughable the way that this has all transpired. And a lot of you people took the cheese. You thought Drake May could be the starter. And I'm sure you thought it because he has to be better than Jacoby Brissett. You all know what Jacoby Brissett is. You know what he is. But to Alex Van Pelt, he needs to install an offense. So it's his guy. No matter what the coach thinks or ownership thinks or Elliott Wolf thinks, this guy is going to lead the Alex Van Pelt offense, and he'll keep telling you that Drake May's not ready. So I ask you this tonight as we open up the show. Is this in the best interest for the New England Patriots? Alex Van Pelt putting on in his offense into the mix here, needing his guys to run the offense because he needs to prove and win now. Is that what's best for the New England Patriots? We'll start there tonight at 617-779-0985. Van Pelt spoke a ton today to the media. We'll let you hear just a lot of that audio coming up in a bit. But just what a joke this was. Gerard Mayo. What a terrible offseason. And I've talked about this a lot. So for those who listen every single night, you know where I'm going with it. The old glass of orange juice. The old burning cash. Oh, Drake May could 100% be the starter. Weaponizing the offense. How many times is this group going to lie to you? We're not even at the first game of the year, everyone. We're heading into the final game of the preseason. They don't know who I think they know who their quarterback is. I don't think the coach does, though. I don't think he's involved. Coach doesn't know. They don't know their offensive line. They're trying all sorts of different looks at receiver. This has been a joke of an offseason. And I want to give them a chance. I do. But Mayo preaches competition while Van Pelt tells you that one guy can't get reps because Jacoby Brissett's the starter. There's never been a competition. They're telling you too much. It was so much better when Belichick gave you nothing. But Van Pelt today, I thought he made Gerard Mayo look foolish and silly. So we'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Again, we're on YouTube tonight. I already see the guys in there. Wow, we got 40 people right off the bat. We got Ryan, Sean, Russ Fox, Carrie Ann, Prince Humperdinck's my guy. I see a bunch of people in there as well. Skaz is in there. I see you in there, Skaz. We'll hear what Skaz has to say about this as well. And we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. Loaded guests. We'll talk to Sam Pajanovich, our betting expert, at 8:20 tonight. And then we'll talk to John Sarianides, New England Football Journal. We'll talk to him at 9:20, get his thoughts about everything happening at Patriots camp. I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you guys right after the break.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
Just to bring them along. There's certain things in this offense that, Jacoby, having played in this offense, understands some of the tools that you can use to get you out of certain situations, pressure situations, things like that Drake is still learning. So, but he has really been impressive the last few weeks of practice and in the game. And he's moving in the right direction for sure. But again, rookie quarterback coming in and playing, obviously we have, Jacoby has tons of experience, not just in the NFL, but in this system. And we've won games with him in Cleveland. So I really understand. I feel comfortable with his understanding, but again, Drake is really is pushing.
All right, back here in 98.5, the Sports Hub of Joe Murray. I got people busting into my chops about I sound like Rudolph when they put that fake nose on him, and I'm dealing with allergies. I don't know what it is. Seasonal allergies, Fighting through it though here tonight. Feel good. Just I sound stuffy. I'm not stuffy. No stuffy. I can still smell a rat. That's what I'm smelling here. I'll say this about Alex Van Pelt off the bat. Transparent. He sounds like he should be the damn coach of the team. Like, when he says, hey, why isn't Drake May getting snaps? Well, because Jacoby Brissett's here. I mean, that's as honest as you can get. Just transparent as you can get. Oh, people are going to hate Alex Van Pelt. Now I can already feel it. The thing is, though, is that he is telling you the truth. So just remember that, Patriots fans. Yep. Yeah, I already got people thinking that look at this guy. Oh, he's a wicked rube. Oh, just whatever. Whatever comment you want to make about Van Pelt, at least he's honest. At least he's telling you what's really right. But at the same time, he's telling you because he needs it. They missed on so many guys that could have taken over the offense. Like, Alex Van Pelt's not just here to work with the quarterback. He's here to install an offense. So he has to get receivers to run the right routes. He needs the right 5 guys that play together on the offensive line. There's a lot of things that go into it. Pace, play clocks, you name it. When you install an offense, there's so much more than we know. Okay? So Van Pelt is doing so much with the offense. How much time is he really working with the quarterbacks? That's why you have a quarterbacks coach. Van Pelt installing something because it's what he knows. And last week, during the preseason game, they installed some North Carolina plays for Drake May because Van Pelt wants to run his offense. Van Pelt wants to do what he knows and what he's comfortable with, what he's familiar with. So therefore, he needs guys that he knows, that he's familiar with to run the offense. And I just bring it back a couple of years ago. You remember during the preseason when the Patriots tried to install the Shanahan offense and they tried to do that stretch run to the outside and the linemen and the team couldn't perform it? There were so many guys on the Patriots that played in the Shanahan offense before. Kendrick Bourne spouted off about it. Brian Hoyer spouted off about it because they were in the Shanahan offense before, saying that's not what it was. When you're a coordinator, it's not about the plays and the court. It's about getting everyone on the same page. It's about running an offense the way that you want it. So some guys might have to block downfield. Some tight ends might have to stay back and block. A lot of running backs might have to chip and then go out for passes. It's what's different. This is their offense. It's all under center. It's a lot of play action, and it's a lot of dumps to the tight end. It's a lot of throws, the flare throws to the backs, and then try to set something up to look deep. That's the Van Pelt offense. It's not what the Green Bay offense did or what Wolf knows with Green Bay. It's none of that. So really, when it comes to Drake May, he's going to tell you he is not ready. But really what it is that he doesn't want to teach Drake May his offense. He doesn't have the time to. He needs to get Brissett, the line, the receivers, all up to date to run his offense. That's what it is. So when you keep hearing, Drake May could start, it's because Mayo looks at it and says, this guy might give us the best chance to win. But when Alex Van Pelt's out there, it's Van Pelt needs to get the best guys on the field to run his offense. Is that what's best for the Patriots? Long term? Nope. Nope. And I get it. A lot of people want to see teams win right away. They want to see this team compete right away. And a lot of you want to see Drake May right away. And I'm telling you, he can develop without playing in games. But what I will push back on is when he says Drake May's not ready, it's not because Drake May isn't physically gifted enough to play. It's because Drake May isn't caught up to speed with Alex Van Pelt's offense. That's what it is. And that really got me today. Listening to that, I knew. I've been saying it all. I sniffed this thing out months ago. And then Alex Van Pelt today says there's still a chance for Drake May to start week 1. But what's standing in his way? Jacoby Brissett. What a joke. At least he's being honest. Van Pelt reiterated that Jacoby Brissett is the starting QB. And when asked if Drake May could potentially win the job, he said, I'm sure there's a chance. Van Pelt added he's seen no regression from May and that the rookie's impressive. He's been impressive. Yeah, he's impressive because he's doing things that you're not letting him work with the ones. He's doing things with backups, and he looks impressive. But he's not going to get a chance because you need Jacoby Brissett. You need Austin Hooper and guys who've run your offense before. They might not be the best guys. They're just the guys who know what they're doing. And I've done it before. There's another one here that I thought was kind of interesting. Van Pelt's concern level with the uncertainty of the offensive line and talked about looking for the best 5-man combination opposed to the starting best 5. That's another reason or another way he made Gerard Mayo look stupid. I thought it was the 5 best guys. I thought they wanted the best 5 guys out on the field. Now it's, the best 5-man combination? And then all of a sudden Sunday's game is going to solidify the decision on who is on the offensive line? Van Pelt talking today was not good for Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo's got no pull, everyone. He's a yes man. He's being told what to do. The thing is, though, and I'm not sure about this yet because we keep talking about evaluation. I don't know how to evaluate Gerard Mayo just yet. But we're going to find out. Right now, you have a guy that wants to instill an offense and go with the guys who knows how to do it. While Mayo, who doesn't have really any input, I think Mayo thinks that Drake May's the right guy. This is going to be interesting. Who's got the final say on roster decisions? It's Elliott Wolf. There needs to be one chief, one cook in the kitchen. There's 3 people who are running this team right now. It's a joke, and it makes Mayo look foolish every single time. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Skaz, what did you think of Sir Alex Van Pelt today speaking about Drake May and about the offensive line and kind of going against everything Gerard Mayo said?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be as strong as you are in the, how it affects what Mayo has said. But, yeah, I think Van Pelt's kind of saying what we've been saying for a while, Joe, is that he was brought in to work with Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was brought in to work with him. They're running Alex Van Pelt's offense with Jacoby Brissett because they know it works. They've done it before. That's safe. That's what Alex Van Pelt wants to do. He basically said as much today. And Alex Van Pelt said the roster isn't good enough to start Drake May, and he doesn't really – it sounds like he doesn't believe Drake May is ready. He thinks Drake May needs more time, which is fine. I have no issues with anything.
He's a rookie.
Yes, I have no issue at all with anything Alex Van Pelt said today. It's I don't know. It's kind of what I expected. It was, I don't know, almost refreshing to have him just be so candid about it and be like, yeah, I'm here to work with Brissett. Brissett's here to run my offense. That's what we're going to do, and I don't think Drake May's ready yet.
Yeah, again, it sounded like he was the head coach, right? He was the one making the decisions. He's the one that was confident. I agree with you. I'm not upset with anything he said. It just contradicted everything Mayo has said. That's my issue there. That is my issue there. Mayo's looking foolish by the day. I got to tell you. I don't know if he can coach. I don't. We really don't. If we go by at least a couple of preseason games, they had a chance for a 2-minute drill in both games before the half, and they did not go for it. The one thing I did like that Mayo did was he challenged a fumble on a 4th down or a 4th down play, and I was like, it's not going to work, and it worked. So, again, I don't know if that's him. I don't know if that's someone in his ear or whatnot. But the evaluation for Gerard Mayo, I don't even know. And it's funny because Mayo keeps saying it's Van Pelt who's the head coach of the offense. So maybe if the offense struggles, it's just one less thing on Gerard Mayo's resume. Not his problem if the offense doesn't play well. This is where it's going, people. There's going to be a head coach of the team, a guy who runs the offense. And if the offense doesn't succeed, it's going to be Van Pelt who goes down. It's not going to be Mayo. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Guys, I know there was a clip back there that he was talking about when it comes to the offense. It's not necessarily the best players. It's the guys who can run it the best. Or is that what that quote was here?
No, the one that stood out to me was here. I'll play it for you.
All right, let's listen.
How much of the decision when it comes to playing Drake May depends on the guys around him, specifically the offensive line?
Some, not all. Obviously we got to get him out there and watch him play. So we'd obviously like to get him out there with the first group if we can and see him operate with the first offense.
So that was the best group around Mayo, on May, excuse me.
Yeah, I took that as basically they asked him, is any of why Drake May's not playing because of the people around him? And he just flat out says, yeah, kind of. Some of the guys, like, we don't want to get this kid killed. Like, the team as a whole is not in the best position for Drake May to succeed. And I appreciate the honesty from Alex Van Pelt. That's what I've felt. That's, I think, what you felt, Joe, is that if you send this kid out there and Vidarian Lowe's hurt, who, whatever, he's your starter, however you feel about that or not, even if he is healthy, I don't think they have a great offensive line. So if he's hurt, you're going to send Drake May out there week 1 against the Bengals with a banged-up offensive line that wasn't that good to begin with. It's just there is no need to rush Drake May, and I think Alex Van Pelt feels that way.
I don't disagree with him. I don't. But it is a little weird that Gerard Mayo is like, yeah, competition. Yeah, he could still start. Like, there's a weird divide there. Something isn't right. I thought they were on a collaborative mission. That doesn't sound collaborative to me. Especially when one of them's the head coach. Very interesting. Oh, it's going to be a good one, everybody. Strap yourselves in. Tom's in Norwood. Hey, Tom.
Hey, as always, I love the show. Listen to it all the time. A couple of points. First regarding Mayo, I can't agree with you more on Mayo. When they ask Mayo who's going to start or who's going to run quarterback, who's going to make the decision, he turns around and gives an answer like, hey, 17 different people are going to come together and make a decision. What a leader says is, look, I know what I see. I'll take input from other people, from Van Pelt, QB guy, other offensive players, but at the end of the day, the decision is mine. That's what he should have said, and he didn't. And
Well,
that's
it's not his. Something's rattling in his car. Could you hear that?
Yes, Joe. I think everyone could hear that. I don't know what that was.
What kind of rattle was that? Is that like change in a cup holder?
Guy might need to get his engine looked at. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be some sort of like suspension rack in his like hood.
Whatever it was, it didn't sound good.
I don't know. I'm pretty. I spent many. I told you. Maybe you guys know this. I spent many years in the auto business, and I could hear a sound, and I I was like one of those guys where I could get in a car and immediately know, oh, yeah, that's the CO2 symbol. That's check engine light. Yeah, you just got to reset it, and then we'll go from there. Oh, you got to check your gas cap. I used to be able to hear a sound, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. And again, I was never a mechanic, but just like I didn't even need to do a diagnostic on the Patriots. I knew from day one, Gerard Mayo has no control. Alex Van Pelt's in this for himself. He wants the guys to run the offense because his job's on the line and needs to prove that he can run an offense and build a system. And unfortunately, Drake May is not a part of that. So Gerard Mayo will keep telling you there's a competition. But Alex Van Pelt is the head coach of the offense. And Elliott Wolf, in the end, makes the final decisions. 3 different people for one job. And Bill Belichick told us nothing. Now you got 3 different guys saying 3 different things. It's very annoying. You know what they should do? They should just have the 3 of them up there at all times. You know, instead of like one of them. No. I want you 3 up there at once so you guys can get it all together. You know? So it's like, hey, Alex, AVP, what was the decision to play Tyquan Thornton on first down and start today? Mayo can't answer it. Wolf, can he? Drives me nuts. Chris in our chat says Mayo versus AVP. Who gets fired first? I'm going to tell you. Mayo's got the leg up on that one. He's got the leg up. The offense sucks. It's Van Pelt. Also, the fact that he didn't play Drake May, that's another strikeout. Because think about it. Mayo's been like, oh, yeah, competition. Love Drake May. Oh, yeah. Well, Van Pelt's like, yeah, well, it's Jacoby's here. That's why Drake can't play. So if the offense sucks with Brissett, Mayo's the one who's been, pushing for May. Oh, it's great. Oh, this is so good. I can't wait. RJ's on the Cape. Hey, RJ.
Hey, guys. So I just think that you got to start Drake May right away. It's clear that he's the way better athlete. We have a shaky offensive line. He's going to give us the best chance to win right now, and that's probably why Mayo wants to. And, Joe, you're probably right. It's probably not his decision, which is just sad. But if you're a guy, you'll get through it. Like Josh Allen sucked to start, but he's a guy. He got through it. Trevor Lawrence, kind of the same thing. Justin Herbert came out flying. Zach Wilson is the complete opposite. But, all these guys would have been what they are, whether they started right away or didn't. You just got to throw them out to the fire and see what happens. I think the kid's a winner. I don't know. I think he'll be good.
So I do RJ, but at the same time, I don't want him to start right away. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of pressure for the team to make this decision. I do think Drake May is the best quarterback they have. I do. I think he gives them the best chance to win, too. Does it give Alex Van Pelt the best chance to win? No. And is it what's best for the future of the Patriots? Yeah. Drake May sitting and learning, not taking those crazy hits from the offensive line. It's what's best for business. It's best for the Patriots. It really is. It really is. So, although I agree with you that maybe Drake May is the best option right now, he might be. But they're going to stay with the plan. And that plan is Jacoby Brissett in the way of Drake May. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I wanted to hit on the Red Sox for a little bit. We'll continue your Patriots calls as well. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We got In or Out, 8:50 tonight. Murray's Musings at 9:50 tonight. So stay tuned. And, of course, you can join us on YouTube. I see a bunch of people already in there. People are hot on this Patriots stuff, huh? I didn't realize that. Thought maybe some people would get a little bored of it after a while, but nope. Red Sox are off tonight. Let's get you the headlines right now. We'll tell you what's going on in the sports world.
Sports Hub headlines.
right, Patriots practice today. Drake May saw 6 reps with the starting offensive line. That was 3 more than Wednesday. Back here at 98.5 The Sports, huh? I'm Joe Murray. People in the chat are from Philly, which, again, we get people worldwide on the night show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Brissett is the Geno Smith of the last couple of years. You wish. Oh, bold prediction. I think Sam Howell eventually takes over for Geno Smith this year. I don't know why I'm a Sam Howell guy.
A former number 1 recruit.
You know, what is he's big, strong arm, right? Big, strong arm, takes tough, takes hits. But, like, that's what wins in this league. And those guys learn over time. So I don't know. At some point, I feel like he takes over. But I don't think Jacoby Brissett's the Geno Smith or anything like that. I'm not buying that one. A couple of people are having beers hanging out tonight listening to the show. I appreciate that, everybody. 617-779-0985. Again, if you want to join the chat, go to youtube.com, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Just go live, and then you'll see everybody in there. P-Funk is in there right now. Ryan, Benjamin. I'm just looking at a lot of people that are in there. So we started off Pats tonight. Mayo says one thing, Van Pelt tells you the truth, and Elliott Wolf runs the team. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Let's talk to Tom. He's in the car. Hey, Tom.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
I think actually, Vidarian Lowe going down could actually be kind of a blessing in disguise for the fact that they're going to have to kick Oweno out. You can put Robinson in and then kick Wallace over to left tackle. I think that's your best run blocking, and that's what he wants to do anyways. I mean, Wallace came from Penn State to run the ball.
Hey, Tom, yeah. I agree with you. What does Van Pelt want?
He wants exactly. But I think this takes it out of Van Pelt's hands. So therefore, he's forced to play the rookies. He's forced to see what they can do, and he's forced to run the ball.
And that's to your point of it's a good thing, right? Because I think he wants Lowe in there because he can run the offense. Right? He sets up in the right spots, hits the right protections, all that stuff. Where if he's not in
he
there,
misses all the protections.
Yeah, then Wolf says, "Well, we're going to play Caden Wallace."
Yes, and I think his idea is run the ball, zone run, play action.
Yep.
And that's what Penn State did, and that's what Texas A&M did. So you got rookies in there that can do that. You got Sidney So at your left guard. You got Andrews at your center. And now you actually have potentially a somewhat decent offensive line that can, control the game. And then also you can see it'll help you see what you need next year going into the draft, going into free agency, because if this offensive line's young and can play, now you can go out and get more weapons, in the first couple rounds instead of not necessarily wasting a pick, but using a pick on offensive lineman, the left tackle. It kind of lets you see what you need going forward.
There you go, Tom. See, we're on the same page there. Imagine that. Mayo, Van Pelt, Wolf. It's like, who's in charge? Who's in charge? Nobody. All three of them. Zach's in Mansfield. Hey, man. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Joe. You're one of my favorite guys in the sports hub. I appreciate you, dude.
Thanks,
I just wanted to get an idea of when you realistically think that Drake May will end up being the starting quarterback. I also do agree with Tom. I do think that for Darian Lowe coming out was definitely a blessing in disguise because I honestly think he sucks.
Yeah, he's made improvement. I will say that. I think he's a very, I'm going to use a polite word here. He's hunky. Chunky? I don't want to say that. He's a wide-bodied tackle. Bill Belichick always liked the taller, slimmer tackles. The Sebastian Vollmers, Nate Solders of the world, Matt Lights, those kind of guys. And quite frankly, it worked here for a long time. Now, though, they're big boys out there. I couldn't believe how big Mike Onwenu was when I saw him. Lowe was even bigger. Antonio Mafi was 377 pounds. I couldn't believe that. But yeah, they usually like those long tackles. Now they're going with those big boys that stay home. Maybe that's been the reason why they've struggled over the last couple of years. We'll take a quick break. There's a card show this weekend. I'll be there. You guys can come and hang out with me. And we're going to talk to Jeff, who runs the Best Flippin' Card Show. That will be at Polar Park And it's this Saturday morning all day long, 9 to 5. I will be there. We're going to talk about it and tell you what type of cards, vendors, and how you can come out and hang out and learn more about the hobby. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray with you tonight until 11 o'clock. Skaz is here as well. We started talking Pats. Did want to touch on some Red Sox. They're off tonight. We got a bunch of other stuff throughout the night, in or out. We got the Musings later on as well. But I did want to tell you guys, I've been talking about it all week long, but there's a big card show for those that are in the hobby. It's over at Polar Park this Saturday. So if you haven't had a chance to get over to Polar Park, it's an awesome take. I went last year, but the best flipping card show will be there this Saturday. I will have a table myself, and joining us right now on 98.5 The Sports Hub is Jeff McGargle. He's from the Best Flippin' Card Show. Jeff, welcome to 98.5 The Sports Hub. I've gone to your shows. Now you're on my show tonight. How are you, man?
Good evening, Joe. What's going on?
So the Best Flippin' Card Show's going to Polar Park. Obviously, you guys are normally up at the Crown Plaza up in Woburn, but you're going on the road now, and you're opening up to close to 100 vendors this week. Why Polar Park, man? This is a pretty big. This sounds like it's going to be a really big show.
Yeah. So if anybody has paid attention to cards, there's been a Fenway card show the past few years, and I love what Chris and his team over at Card Vault do with that show. So I started to look at my own venues and say, hey, how could I kind of mimic what they do on a little smaller scale? So I looked at the Portland Park and ultimately settled on Worcester. They were very open to it there. And we're just looking to make this somewhat of an annual event moving forward if the first one goes pretty well.
So tell everybody what a card show is. I mean, you go in, obviously there's so many different vendors, right? There's cards that have autographs, there's patches, there's even new TCG now, which is, all sorts of off sports stuff that are out there. But just tell us a little bit about the other vendors that will be there. And, one thing I like that you guys do is you're always doing giveaways. So if people enter, they may go home with some sort of graded PSA 10 card that you guys do during your giveaways. So tell everybody about the vendors and some of the giveaways you got going on.
Yeah, sure. So we've got, like you said, I think we've got over 75 vendors now, all across the board, covering 125 tables. So it's going to be a little over 80 tables of all sports. Everything from collegiate basketball up until, this year's NFL cards. And you mentioned TCGs, which stands for trading card games. So we've got Pokemon, One Piece, Magic. Those that are into that. And there's about 40-plus tables of those kinds of cards, too. Pokemon is massive right now. I know you're on a sports station, but I just had to mention how big the Pokemon hobby is going forward in 2024.
Well, I think there's all sorts of things, right? I couldn't believe Star Wars is like a thing, right? I mean, it's just, but people love Star Wars. Anything operating, it doesn't have to be sports. I've seen Winnie the Poohs that were graded, right?
Right.
These Disney
cards.
Exactly. These Disney cards. But I think that's what makes it so great is that, there's some nostalgia there from being a kid, but at the same time, it has evolved. Maybe that's something you could talk about is just how much the hobby has evolved from the junk wax era we all grew up to.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to card shows with my dad, late 80s, early 90s, and just fell in love with them at that time and got back into cards in 2016. My wife's cousin had some high-end Tom Brady's at the time, and I was like, wow, cards still have value. This is great. So fell in love with it once again, have been going strong ever since, and when the pandemic restrictions lifted in 2021, I decided to get my own card show going after going out to a few on my own in the Woburn area and realized, hey, I can do things a little differently. So what we like to do is really give away some great door prizes. So anybody entering that does pay our $15 entrance fee will get a chance at what I believe is the grand prize is a Tom Brady 2023 baseball card. Now, that sounds weird, right? A baseball card for Tom Brady. He was drafted by the Montreal Expos in 1995, for those that aren't really aware of that. And they made what they call a gimmick card last year. And this one's going to be valued at over $400, the one we're giving away. And we got other exciting giveaways like 2 Jaron Durans, this year's MVP of the All-Star Game. So there's just a lot going on that day. Tons of activities for the kids. We're really excited for the card show coming up.
All right, we'll talk with Jeff McGargle. He's from the Best Flippin' Card Show. Polar Park this Saturday, big event, a huge, and you guys do the monthlies, which is great, like I mentioned over in Woburn, but this is going to be a big one, and you can find out more information at bostoncardcon.com. Just a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. Everyone always talks about grading cards or getting things authenticated. Should people bring stuff or cards with them that they could get graded, or could also get any autographs or anything, when it comes to authentication?
Yeah, we have a local company that comes out to our shows from New Hampshire. They will do on-site grading, let you know right there and then what they believe your card will grade at. And I think it's very important, especially for vintage cards. There tend to be some fakes out there. So always be careful of anything that's, 50, 60 years old that might have come from a strange place at a garage sale or something. You might want to get that checked out just to make sure it's worth the money you think it is.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing now. We take calls here, Jeff. Hey, Joe, I got this card from whatever, and I'm like, dude, you gotta send it in, or you gotta have someone look at it, and that's another thing. If you bring it to the show, at least somebody will tell you, hey, you should grade this, or you shouldn't, which is a great thing. But the other thing that's big now is concert tickets or games. Like if you went to a big game, I got the Snow Bowl. I went to the Tom Brady's first playoff game. I sent it out to PSA. Got graded at a value of $1,500. Like a ticket stub can end up being worth that. So if you got that stuff, bring it to the show this weekend. One other thing I wanted to ask you about: you're at Polar Park. I mean, Worcester right now, that whole area is up and coming, man. That Kelly Square area, they've done a lot of work. The other thing I love about that area is the Worcester Public Market outside of it, but you got a bunch of vendors that are going to be there inside. Tell us a little bit about what you guys got for food at Polar Park this week.
It's like you're at a ball game. We're going to have all the standard fare that any ball game would have to watch the Woo Sox. So all those concession stands are going to be available, and all the typical types of food. We're going to have even the Kona ice truck out there on the pavilion, ready to go for you guys.
Oh, that's so good. Get to hang out at the ballpark for the day, get some trading cards as well. And you're going to meet a lot of cool people. You can even meet me. I will be there as well. For more information, visit bostoncardcon.com. I know that people can buy tickets in advance. And if anybody wants to reach out for tickets, Jeff, where should we send them to?
You can just search for Best Flippin' Card Show, Polar Park. It'll take you right to our Eventbrite page to buy tickets there, or you can buy tickets the day of the show.
Yeah, the hobby's hot, man. I'm telling you right now. Like everybody wants these, whether it's an optic or mosaic football. I know that locally here, so like the Patriots really aren't a hot card, but every once in a while, you might get a Brady in there or some sort of Gronk or whatever that's really big. So what would you say right now if people wanted to go out and buy a box or wanted to buy something? What do you think right now is something hot that people would be interested in?
I'm really high on 2024 Topps Chrome for baseball. But so people understand Drake May cards and his Patriots jersey aren't really available yet. Yep. So we've got to wait a few months for the 2024 NFL cards to come out. You can get them in his Carolina jersey. That's fine. But in the Pats jersey, you won't be able to find any on Saturday. So in a couple months, those will all start to hit the shelves at your local Target, Walmart, or your typical card shop.
Yeah, and I might even have a few on hand, Jeff, just so people, if they want those Drake May cards, you got to come find me at table 34 and 35. He's Jeff McGargle, the Best Flippin' Card Show. The big event, first one over at Polar Park, and he does plenty monthly over in Woburn as well at the Crown Plaza. Jeff, I'll see you on Saturday, man. Great job with this, and hopefully we can get a big turnout, my man.
Thanks so much for having me on, Joe. Appreciate it.
You got it. Check it out, guys. The Best Flippin' Card Show. I'll be there. Polar Park this Saturday. I love Polar Park. We got to get you out there, Skaz, to Worcester someday. Tim McCone threw out a first pitch one night. What's up with Tim McCone and Matt McCarthy and these guys throwing out first pitches? I actually did a coin flip for an arena football team, the Lowell team. It was awesome. I had fun. We got to get Skaz out there. Anyways, all right. I know. I just geeked out for a minute. I had to, all right? Let's talk more Patriots. We'll do that on the other side. The phone number 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
WBZ-FM and HD Boston. Patriots! It's an all-new season for the Patriots. Wow. And you'll hear it all right here.
Yes.
Your home of the Pats. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots had practice today. Practice number 19. Drake May saw 6 reps with the starting O-line. That was 3 more than Wednesday night. No pads. Heavy scout work. May and Brissett both took plenty of the reps. Michael Onwenu was at right tackle. Vidarian Lowe is out. He's dealing with a upper body injury. Jalen Polk, very productive today as well. Red Sox off tonight. They won the series against Houston. Bullpen did very well, and now they're off until tomorrow when they take on Arizona. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Get my boy Young Drake May.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I like about you, man. Because even though, you've been taking reps, like you've been a starter for us, you still help other guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know a lot of people in the league, I know people, don't take this the wrong way, but people in the league, when they see competition, they kind of run from it.
Yeah.
They kind of like, I'm not going to help this guy. I'm going to try to do this so he don't catch up on this. I still see you help Drake. You help Joe.
Yeah.
You help Zap. So that's all about just being a true pro.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Gerard Mayo. I'm sorry, Gerard Mayo. I'm sure you're a good dude. Actually, I know a lot of people that have worked with you and said you're the coolest dude, so I kind of feel bad. He is a placeholder, man. He is just the guy that they wanted to take over and control. Back in July, I don't think there's any doubt Jacoby Brissett's the starting QB. Then on Monday, we don't have a starting QB right now. Then Thursday, Jacoby right now is our quarterback from Alex Van Pelt. It's just, they have made this guy look so foolish. So I don't know now. Does anybody sympathize for him? I like to relate to people. I try to relate to you people. That's what I try to do here. I'm just a guy who talks on the radio. I think I know enough to be dangerous, but I just want to relate to you people. I don't know. Do you relate to Gerard Mayo here? Wants to be an NFL coach, loves the crafts, loves the Patriots, I assume. I feel like he knows a little something about football. They can't literally not let him make any decisions, and that's what it seems like they're doing, Skaz.
Yeah, it seems like this week we've gotten a lot of he's unqualified or wasn't ready to take the job, and I just push back on that a little bit because it's not like he has no experience. He worked under Belichick. He's been coaching for years. There have been numerous NFL head coaches that have, not been coordinators that have been hired before, and they've succeeded.
Well, we gave you some of the names. Andy Reid's a big one, but he did get fired in Philly, but he went to 4 NFC Championship games in a row.
But he was an OC, right?
No, he never was.
So another one I think of is
John
Harbaugh.
John
Harbaugh. He was a defensive backs coach, then a special teams coordinator, and then was promoted to head coach. And I think he's still, to this day, one of the better head coaches in the league.
Yeah, but for the most part, though, those are the anomalies, But
wouldn't you say that, and we don't know anything, but wouldn't you say that a guy like Gerard Mayo could be an anomaly? He's a very cerebral player, learned under the greatest of all time, seems to have the makeup of a head coach. To act like, he didn't deserve it or is unqualified, I think is just, way too strong.
I don't think he's unqualified. He deserved it because the Crafts believe in him. But I think the guy knows a little something about it. A lot of the players said that they kind of changed. They did a little tweak to the defense last year. It was Steve Belichick's defense, but Mayo came up with a few ideas, and Steve went with it. And a lot of the players liked it. I think, if anybody, Jabril Peppers was very outspoken about the way that he could play a little bit more inside the box. Mayo was essentially a middle linebacker for the Patriots. and led the league in tackles at times. I think he knows a little something about football. Does he know about offense? And I don't think the team knows that, which is why he's probably not able to make these decisions. So I'll agree with you to that point. But you're right. This guy with all the pedigree, being around the team, playing with all those players, I think he knows a little something.
Yeah, and wasn't he, I know, both Belichick's were kind of the DCs last year, the last couple of years, but wasn't Mayo right there with him?
Yeah, like I mentioned, he was. They listened to him. I mean, if he was like, oh, we should play this type of unit, or they listened to him. Like, he had at least a voice in the locker room. But I think towards the end, Belichick kind of knew.
Well, yeah, they was in writing.
Do you think Belichick knew that? I still don't think he knew that. You think Belichick would have known that in writing 2025? Because that's what this is all a year early. Maybe that's why this is all happening. It was supposed to be a year later instead of a year early, and they thought maybe he'd be ready by then. I just thought what happened today makes Mayo look foolish. Not even, Van Pelt's telling you the truth. So when it comes to cut down day, are they going to send Mayo out there on the why this guy got cut? Is that what they're going to do? I feel like they get that feeling. Oh, by the way, there was a podcast with Jacoby Brissett and Devin Godshaw. What's that on? I saw it today and I go, where the hell? These guys do a podcast together? Now Jacoby Brissett's doing a podcast? Oh boy. Is that part of the Van Pelt offense too? Is that part of the offense? They did talk about Drake May in there. I don't know if you have that, guys. I know I'm throwing it out.
We played it coming back.
Oh, you know what? When the Joes aren't listening.
Yeah, sometimes the off-air discussion gets in the way.
It did. It definitely did that time.
But yes, he talks about how he's impressed by Jacoby Brissett mentoring May, Joe Milton, and Zappy. Zaps, he calls him.
He was putting over his guy. Saying, hey, man, I'm impressed with what you're doing. Is it because maybe some of the defenders know that Drake May is the guy? I'm impressed with what you're doing. That you could sit there and do this every day knowing that guy's going to take your job. I just thought that was fairly interesting. He also talked about, Gottschalk talked about watching everybody else get paid. We don't have to play that. But he talked about everyone else getting paid, and finally he got his. And he actually liked the way the Patriots handled things. He said it was pretty professional. So if you want an outside looking in, that was at least something that Godshaw shared with Jacoby Brissett.
Chaw talk is what I think it's
Chaw
called.
Talk?
Chaw,
Chaw?
Godshaw.
I like that.
Chaw talk is what I believe it's called.
That's cool.
So I guess we'll have to be tuning into that to see if we get any sound bites.
Maybe. Do you think Jacoby Brissett has ever made a brisket?
I'm sure he has.
Oh, man. I know.
There's a sponsorship waiting to happen.
Oh, my God, yes. I know a guy.
Of course you do.
He's over in Malden. He's the official steak tip of the New England Patriots there. Dom?
Joe Murray Bingo might be able to make a comeback.
Brissett's Briskets. I'm going to talk to him about that. You know who's a big shopper over at Dom's? Bailey Zappi.
If only that helped him on the football field.
No, man. Maybe it's say your prayers and eat your vitamins, eat your Dom sausage.
Get one of those stretching machines or something.
Let's talk to Tim. He's in Nashville. Hey, Tim.
Joey, if you remember correctly, Bob Kraft was interviewed, and he said there was a lot of new faces on the coaching staff. Do you feel that Mayo's a little lost with all the different voices in his head and different people that come in at him with all these ideas? Do you think it's a little bit overwhelming, or do you feel that he's holding his own?
I'm sure it's overwhelming, but at the same time, I think it's a collaborative effort, and he knows where he stands. I think when it comes to the team and what's happening as far as on the field itself, Elliott Wolf will make the decisions, but I think Mayo is going to take whatever they give him. So I think he's going along with it. But as far as the offense goes, I think it's Alex Van Pelt that's running the offense.
Oh, that's a definite. And I see this kid is starting to prove all of them wrong. They thought they had to slowly wean him in to the starting role. I think they've gotten a little bit more than what they thought. And as soon as that line, I'm thinking, Joe, week 5, as soon as that line starts to gel, you're going to see that kid come in.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's Brissett right now, man.
They're going to have Brissett because that line is just helter-skelter right now.
Someone sent me a photo of this brewery in Nashua that makes a hot dog pizza. Do you know where that is?
I believe that's the new. I think it's the Lost Cowboy.
This was called Spyglass. Sorry.
Oh, Spyglass. That's south. That's in. I think it's just south of Nashua in Tingsboro.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Wait, Joe. That's actually on Amherst Street. Probably just as you go past where Bertucci's is. It's on your left.
Okay. I guess they make a hot dog pizza. Are you in or out on a hot dog pizza?
I'd have to try a piece of it, Joel. That's kind of an odd one.
There's beans on it too.
Oh my God!
Thanks, Tim. Is that our first moan of the night? Was that our first moan of the night there, Skez?
Oh my God.
Oh, what a night. Oh, man. All right. Well, you know who we're going to talk to next? His name is Sam Payanovich. He's a betting extraordinaire. And we're going to talk to him. I think he's got a new opportunity as well. So we'll talk about that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
till 11 o'clock. Skaz is here as well. We were talking Patriots. We'll get into some Red Sox stuff as well. But let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. We'll welcome in Sam Pejanovich. Sammy P. joins us here on 98.5 The Sports, up with the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Hi, Sammy.
Expert hotline is a little much. I don't think I'm an expert, buddy.
Well, you get the that's what you get when you come on the show. So you were shooting hoops today. What was all that about?
So I went down today. I'm in Connecticut right now, which is I think it's kind of like God's armpit, to be honest with you. But yeah, whatever. So I'm down here. I did Dan Patrick's show today, which was awesome.
You were on with Dan Patrick today?
Yeah, man.
Holy smokes. Was it his basement?
He's got a studio. It's basically off the main drag in Milford, Connecticut.
I know Milford. I know Milford very well.
Yeah, they had a good spot. Archie Moore's pretty good wings, underrated wings, by the way.
Really?
But no, he's got like a warehouse converted into a studio. But yeah, like I've done his show a couple times. I started doing it last football season. Actually, first time I did his show, I got white hot with football pits. So they thought I was like the best thing on earth, which is, not reality because we all come back down after we're hot. But yeah, I did his show today, and he's awesome, man. He's an all timer, obviously a radio legend, but he's just one of the boys,
So what'd you guys do? Did you guys do like week 0? What'd you do?
We did futures, and I told him, he was making fun of me because I told him to bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. And he's like, oh, yeah, nice prediction, nerd, basically. And I said, listen, Dan, if you make this bet last 5 years, because the Chiefs coming into the season every year like 550, 6-1. You make that bet last 5 years, they've won 3. They lost in a Super Bowl, and then they were a 7-point favorite against Cincinnati in the AFC title game. So the point is simple. Like, they don't even have to win. They just have to go deep, which they always do. And you and I have talked about this off the air. I think that trifecta, the Mahomes, Kelsey, Reed trifecta, is basically this generation's version of Brady, Belichick, and Gronk. They're always going to get deep. Like every year, people talk about, oh, this team is going to upset the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are going to do this, and they're going to fall flat. And every year, we look up, and they're in the AFC Championship game. So why wouldn't you make that bet right now at 6-1? It's been the greatest bet in the NFL for 5 straight years.
Who do you think if that's the case, who would be the representative in the NFC?
Well, I was in Vegas about 2 weeks ago, and I bet a couple thousand on the Eagles at 7-1. That number's come down a little bit. It's 6-1, 575, 550. I really think that their defense is going to be a lot better. And remember, Joe, this is a team last year started 10-1, and then the injuries piled up. They lost a couple corners, they lost a linebacker, they lost a deep tackle. That nerd with the pencil, Matt Patricia, was scheming up the defense. He's gone, thank God. They brought in Vic Fangio, who's always been a very good coordinator. I think they shored up their weaknesses, and that's what great organizations do. Their offense is fine. They got a top 10 offense. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They traded for Dotson today from the Commanders. They got Saquon. Their line is a top 3 line in the league. Their offense is fine. They shored up their defense. And I think eventually the Ayuk thing is going to melt down in San Francisco. To me, if you're shorting San Fran, you're either in that Lions bucket or you're in the Eagles bucket. And I'm in the Eagles bucket. Do you like Detroit or Philly better? Where are you at on that?
So I have Philly winning the NFC East. I think Detroit are the darlings that people are over betting. So therefore, it's a no bet for me, which if I had to choose between the two betting-wise, it'd be the Eagles. But I do think the Lions, I think they're revamped. They drafted well. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle, but if I had to go, let's say you had to go on the road, Goff on the road versus the Eagles, I'd probably go Eagles.
Well, here's the caveat with Detroit this year, and a lot of people are shorting Detroit, and I'm not quite there. Look, I'm contrarian by nature. I love to fade the room. But the thing about Detroit this year is they play 14 of 17 games indoors, which is great for Goff. I mean, that's Goff's thing. He's awesome inside. So obviously they get half the games at home in the Dome. But if you look at the Lions' schedule, a lot of their road games, like they play at Arizona, I think they play at New Orleans this year. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But I do know that 14 of their 17 games are inside, which is great for Goff. I mean, I've covered, football for 10 years now. Goff, when Goff was with the Rams, when they were really good, they went to the Super Bowl. They came to Chicago. It was like 10 degrees. And he was like, oh, it's so cold. My hands, I can't grab the football. But when he's indoors, he's a monster. So if they can do their business, look, there's a reality where the Detroit Lions are the number one seed in the NFC this year. That's very possible.
I'm very interested in that. We know the Patriots' win total is 4.5, 5 in some places. What do you think the over-under is on games that Drake May will sit before he starts? I'm going to give you an over-under of 4.5. Where are you at?
I'm under. I saw Zolak tweet the other day that, he's live to start week 1, which I don't know that I'm there. But the crazy thing is, they're going to be so bad this year that you might as well just get them out there. I think Patriots fans, and they get butthurt when you talk about how bad they're going to be. Patriots, okay, well, you guys ran the league for 20 years now. You're going to suck. It's inevitable. This year they're going to suck. Whether it's Brissett or Zappi or Drake May, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They have nothing at receiver. And, it's funny. I know you follow all these reporters and beat guys, like it's a catch on the sideline over the shoulder, and people are like, what an amazing catch. Not really. Like it's a catch that basically every receiver makes. But I think Patriots fans, given last year and the year before, they're just starving for offensive highlights and real plays and highlights and all that. And that's not it this year. You're relying on rookie receivers. It's not going to happen, man. But I think it's a team that, they should probably start the kid week 3, week 4, see what they got and go from there. But look, man, this is the reality. You got to face Aaron Rodgers twice, Josh Allen twice, Tua twice. This is the worst team in the division, and it might be the worst team in the conference. And that's where you're at.
Oh, yeah. I feel you on that. I feel the same way, Sammy. I'll talk about Sam Pejanovic, betting insider. I've seen some line movement for week 0 between this Florida State-Georgia Tech game. It was 13 this morning. I believe the opener was 6, then went up to 16, and now is back down to 10 today. That's a lot of line movement. It's a neutral site game. I think there's a lot of hype on Florida State after last year. DJU comes in. Georgia Tech, dude, as an underdog, outstanding. 7-2 in their last 9 games. They've also been very good. They've covered against Florida State their past few games. I think Georgia Tech's on the rise. Florida State might be a little too much. Is 10 a good number if you do like Florida State? And which side are you on right now, Sammy?
I sort of like the over 55, 55.5. I think Georgia Tech's going to score. They can run the ball extremely well. Obviously, Brent Key, the head coach, is building something there in Atlanta. So it's going to take them time for them to contend in the conference. But I agree with you. I think Florida State is sort of, I don't want to say phony, but Florida State is getting by on reputation and brand. This line 2 months ago is 13.5, 14, and now we're down to like 10. Pinnacle's at 10, Circa's at 10.5. So clearly respected play is on the Jackets. Remember, this is a neutral site game. It's in Ireland, but this total has come up too from 54 to 55. Some books 55.5. I'm inclined to think we're in for a 34-24, a 38-28 type game. Wow. So I lean to the over. I didn't bet the side. I wanted to take Tech, but it's hard to take 10, 10.5 when you could have taken 14,
Yep, exactly.
So I always try and take the right number. It's a pass for me on the side. Wise guys took 14. They took 13.5. And, other wise guys are going to lay 10, 10.5. And that's the reality, right? Because, the sharpest guys in the world, they don't bet teams. They bet numbers, and you know that.
Yep. Week 0 is this week, everyone. So you get 4 college football games, and then they start kicking games off. There's a couple of interesting lines. I just wanted to ask you about these ones. New Mexico hosts Montana State. Now, New Mexico is one of the worst teams in all of Division I or FBS. This line was 6.5. Now it's 13.5. Montana State's one of the best FCS schools, potentially could win the championship. Is it too many points? Is it too many points for a team at home that's an FBS school against an FCS school? Like, that's a lot, man. I don't know. Like, I know New Mexico is bad, but are they that bad?
No, they're not. I like their coach too, Bronco Mendenhall, who's been around the block, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. We were doing bear bets the other day on Fox, and we taped, I think, on Tuesday afternoon, and the line at that point was 11 or 11.5. And I had heard at the time that there was going to be a syndicate, if you will, that was going to lay the favorite. So that happened, and it was funny because on bear bets, I was like, if you like the dog, just wait, because you're going to get a bigger number. And, from 11.5, the Superbook 13.5, DraftKings 13.5. Eventually, I'll tell you this, it's going to get bought back. So if you like the dog, I would take the points now because it's going to come back a little bit. Like, it's never going to get to 14. If it gets to 14, it's going to get whacked. Guys are going to take plus 14 because it's 2 even touchdowns, and that's what the wise guys do. So I think, a line that opened, like you said, in the summer at 7.5, 8, that's now almost 2 touchdowns. I'm probably going to find myself taking New Mexico, and let's play it forward. So they play this week, then they play Arizona next weekend, and that number is 30 right now. Wow. New Mexico's getting 30 against Arizona. If New Mexico can hang with Montana State this Saturday, that 30 is gone. That 30 comes to 28 or 27 or 26.5. So I think if you're ahead of the curve, you can bet New Mexico this week, and you can also bet them next week. You could take a really good number against Montana State. You could take 13.5, and you can also take 30. And look, if they beat Montana State Saturday, Joe, what's that number? It's not 30.
Oh, it's going to be down like to 23.
Okay, so if you take 30 now, on Thursday, August 22nd, you could potentially take 30 and then lay 23. And now you're middling at 7 points. 24 is the nuts. 27 is the nuts. I think taking 30 now, if you're ahead of the curve with New Mexico for next week, not this weekend, for next weekend, I think that's a very, very interesting decision.
A big Noah Fafita guy, who's the Arizona quarterback. Obviously, there's been some changes at Arizona this year, so they could take a step back as well. I won't ask you about the other 2 games, but I am interested though in that Hawaii 40 points. I love Hawaii. I know it's on the island. I just don't know if I would take them 40 points against anyone, but they are one of the better. I think they're 12-2 the last 14 years in week 0 or week 1. So maybe there's a little trend there, but Delaware State, not a good team.
It's funny you bring that up, and somebody sent that to me the other day, and sent me I think it was John Ewing from BetMGM sent me the text that they're 12-2 last 14 ATS in the openers, and I responded very quickly, yeah. Well, how many times have they laid 40?
Probably never.
It's a different game.
Maybe in the late 90s they did.
I don't know, man. I mean, look, I bet Hawaii a lot when they had Colt Brennan. I bet them a lot when they had Timmy Chang, who's now their head coach. It's different because, the trends are stupid sometimes. It's, they're 12-2 in their last 14 openers against the spread. Does it really matter what they did in 2015? No. It doesn't matter. Like, the teams are completely different. I didn't bet a single dollar on the game, but I can tell you this. I promise you, at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern this Saturday, I'm going to get a bunch of texts that are asking, hey, should I parlay Hawaii in the over? Like, every year. It's the same thing. People want to bet Hawaii. They want to bet the over, and they want to wheel it.
It's a bailout bet. It's the degenerate special. If they didn't get any bets in all night and they're at the bar, they're like, let's bet Hawaii. How good's Hawaii this year? But I just looked it up. They have been 51.5-point underdogs to Michigan before. But I don't think they've ever been favored by 40.
I don't think they've been favored by 40. And here's another thing for you. Like, I remember sitting in the back when I lived in Vegas for a few years. I remember talking to the guys that were making the numbers, and they used to say when Hawaii would play at midnight Eastern, which is where they're playing this Saturday, they knew that they were going to get that avalanche late at night from people that were just starving for action, people that have been drinking all day. They want to bet Hawaii. So the Hawaii line was always sort of inflated. If it should have been minus 11, it was minus 14. If it should have been, 8, it was 10. If it should have been 3, it was 6. So that's all baked into people looking at the game and go, I've had 6 shots of Jameson. I'm going to bet Hawaii. Like, it's all baked into the line.
So I saw some breaking news on the internet today, Sam Payanovich, from Brett McMurphy. He is of the Action Network, and he says that breaking news, the ultra-talented Sam Payanovich headed to co-host a national daily betting show starting next week on the Action Network. Is this correct?
Well, not on the Action Network. It's actually for your direct competitor.
Oh.
I know. Well, I told Skaz, I said, look, buddy, I don't think we can do this Rochambeau anymore. And he said, well, let me talk to Joe. And obviously you're aware. But, I'll be down the street, which is good for me and bad for us because I can't, they told me basically no more Sports Hub.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though?
Makes me sad.
It's because they know that you've been doing a great job here.
I also think they're doing some interesting stuff across the street, too, which we can discuss off the air.
Yeah, I don't know. we listen, dude, I honestly have no clue. Skaz and I just do our own thing every night. We're here. The boss came by. We just waved to her. We said goodbye. That's what we do here. We see nothing, hear nothing.
That's why you're the king. That's why everybody likes you, because you play it down the middle, and that's why you're number one in your slot, and you guys do a great show. And look, I appreciate. I know, I hate this sentimental stuff, but when I first started at Nesson, you guys put me on the show, and we had a good thing going, and we did a couple things during football, and I think we made people some money. And even when I lost the job at Nesson, when Nesson decided that, hey, we don't want to do betting content anymore, you kept me a part of your thing. And, it's not like I want to not come on your show. It's just contractual. But you guys are crushing it tonight, crushing it.
You're going to go. What is the name of the show?
It's BetQL Daily. It's the morning show under the network that I will not name. It's under their umbrella. So, I'm going back with Joe Ostrowski from Chicago.
I like Joe Oz.
Yeah, Joe's awesome.
I know.
We actually started Chicken Dinner 8 years ago together in Chicago.
Wow. So, are you still going to do Chicken Dinner?
I'm going to, which I'd love to have you on. So, because I believe that's not.
Anything. We can do that.
Well, I hear other rumblings too. I hear you got some stuff cooking too.
I always get something air frying, bro. I always got something air frying, my man. It's a crazy business that we're in. That's all I can tell you. But you know what though? You seem to keep finding jobs though. You must be doing something right.
Well, knock on wood. This business is it's off and up, and then it's down, and then it's up, and then it's down. It's a damn roller coaster. And anybody that's listening right now that doesn't understand that just doesn't really have an idea of what goes into it. And again, like I think you guys are awesome. I love you. I don't know if I love Skaz yet. I'm warming to Skaz. But it's funny when I signed this contract, I was texting with the Pan Pizza Poppy. And he said, can I still be a part of the Joe Show? And I said, yeah, dude, of course.
See, can I tell you something? I hate this whole competitors. We're in a betting community. You know what? And I get it, right? You got to help your guys. You got to help you. I get it. But, like, this is a betting community. I never feel like it's competitive. I like to hear everyone's opinion, even if I don't like them. I want to know their opinion because I either want to fade them as well. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I just look at this whole business as, like, a community. I'm not competing with anybody when it comes to betting. Yeah, in the end, it's about your win-loss record or how much money you make. But, like, if you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot. But at least if you know what you're talking about and come up on the other side of it, like, it was informative, it was a take. I just look at this as a community, not a competition.
Well, unfortunately, our bosses don't often think that way, and that's not anything that we can affect. You know, it is what it is. I get it. I understand it, and you know, the reality is when they pay you good money and tell you don't do this, you don't do this.
Well, you know what though? You know what I like? A little bit of morning bets, huh?
Oh, we'll be firing bets. In fact, I made a bet today when I was driving to Connecticut. I stopped at one of the casinos on the way from Boston to Milford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I bet Marvin Harrison Jr. at 8-1 to be the offensive rookie of the year. Do you like that?
Whoa.
Yeah, man. 8-1's a bad number. That's a bad number by the books, I think.
I don't know why, but Bo Nix pops in my head. I don't know why. I haven't delved into that one yet.
Have you seen Harrison at camp though? Holy crap!
I know, but is Clayton Tune going to throw him the ball once Murray gets hurt?
Oh, Murray's getting hurt, huh?
I mean, he has before.
Well, here's what I'm not betting. I'm not betting Caleb Williams at plus 150.
That's true.
That will not happen. And those are markets where you kind of want to take a shot. So I have two bets on offensive rookie of the year. I have Harrison now at 7-1, and I also bet a guy in our backyard in the AFC East, Keon Coleman, who's receiver one in Buffalo now because they lost Diggs and Gabe Davis. He's 30-1. Is he going to win it? Probably not, but I think after a month he's going to be 10-1. I think he's going to really explode in Buffalo because they lost all their receivers, and you know these awards are often about opportunity, touches, and I think you know Keon Coleman, who's 6'4", 220, was a monster at Florida State. I think 30-1 is a bad number on him. So those are the two bets I have in that market. I got Marvin at 7-1 and Keon Coleman at 30-1.
All right. So how far are you from Yale right now, would you say?
I don't even know. I'm outside Waterbury, which I think is where Happy Gilmore won the Waterbury Open, yes?
Oh, and there's a Happy Gilmore 2 coming as well. Did you hear about that?
I saw Kelsey's going to be in that.
You know, I'm kind of interested. There's a nice little wood-fired pizza near you. It's called Gigi's. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but it's not bad. It's right where you are in Milford. But I was going to say, you're not too far away from New Haven, which obviously has some of the best pizza in the world. Like a Frank Pepe's or Sally's. You ever had any of those?
I've had Sally's. I like Sally's of Pete's for sure. You know, Pepe's is good. You know, they got the one in Watertown, which we used to go to after, like, pregame and stuff. I just looked it up. I am 16 minutes from Yale.
Wow.
From right here. Yeah, there's a place across the street. I hear they got good wings. You know me, I'm a wing guy.
Oh, there's a Texas Roadhouse. I know you're too classy for Texas Roadhouse, but those.
Well, don't look. I'll spit peanuts on the floor any night. Okay, don't say I'm too classy for that.
Oh, those rolls at Texas Roadhouse, though.
Those are the buttered ones, right? Don't they butter them pre?
Oh, the buttered rolls. Oh. There's moan number 2 there, Scott. We instead of LOL, we've been saying MOL, moans out loud. It's been happening a lot lately.
Well, you're a moaner. That's what you do. That's your thing.
I am a moaner. I don't mean to be a moaner, though. It just happens, though. So yeah, you're not near. You're very close to New Haven. Milford, though, I've been there, man. I've been up to that way. I like to go to the casino myself around that area. So this is well, Sammy. We will still be friends. We will still be in touch. We just can't do this on the air anymore, which sucks.
Yeah.
But maybe we can do it somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll just meet like in the alley outside the sports hub, and we'll just do this there for 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, you could always call in like, incognito as like, Bill from Milford or something like that.
Yeah, I'll be like Dennis from Medfa.
Yeah.
And I'll say, hey, I'll meet you at the potty,
Put an accent.
Somebody told me last week, I'll meet you at the potty. And I was like, wait, are we talking about the bathroom? Or what? Like, and he said, no, the potty. And I said, oh, the potty. Got it. Yeah, the potty. Got it. I'll see you at the potty.
There are people in this town who do gimmicks and do sports talk. Did you know that?
I've heard.
So, I mean, it could work. You never know. All right, well,
I miss you already, man. I miss you.
I know. We'll get together soon. I'm going to Saratoga, so I will miss out on the CT Bets table of fun with Lifshats and Julian Edlow and all those guys.
Well, I'll be sure when Lifshat starts sweating, I'll wipe his forehead with a towel.
You should get a nice little BetQL towel. Or a chicken dinner one.
A chicken dinner towel for sure.
That would be a really good one. So, all right, man. Well, congratulations to you, dude. I'm happy for you. I'm glad it's going to be good. Hey, I'm up every morning looking for bets. So, you give me the early number, the good number. I'm in, bro.
I'll give you the crumbs for sure.
All right, he's Sam Payanovich, everyone, and now he is a part of BetQL, which you can hear mornings. But he no longer can come on this show. But you know what? We're still going to find a way to communicate. So that will still happen. He's Sam Payanovich, everybody. Sammy, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for always joining us when we ask. And I'm sure I'll see you soon.
You will. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. That's sad. Bye, Sammy. Bye. All right, later, bro. Enjoy. Good luck. All right,
thanks.
Take it easy. Well, Sam Payanovich. Very sad. All right. We'll go to the headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, the Red Sox are off tonight. Patriots practice today. Alex Van Pelt said Jacoby Brissett's in front of Drake May. That's really it. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Get started today with your 20-pound summer of Slim Down. The result. All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. We're going to push back in or out to 9 o'clock. So we can do a whole segment on it. So we're going to go longest order of weight right now. We have Dana in Warwick, Rhode Island. Hello, Dana. You're on the Sports Hub with Joe Murray.
Hey, Joe, how are you tonight?
How you doing?
You have a great radio voice, and you have a great show. I really enjoy listening to you. I was out picking up dinner, and I heard your little conversation about pizzas before, and you talked about a hot dog pizza with beans on it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pizza for you. You're going to have to try it, and I got a guy. So if you want to try it, I can hook you up.
Okay.
So in Rhode Island, we're famous for, ironically, it's called New York System wieners.
Yep.
I got a guy that makes a New York System wiener pizza.
Really?
It's got the meat sauce. It's got the little slices of hot dog on it, onion if you want it, and a little shot of mustard across the whole thing on a pizza. It is awesome.
Is it Olneyville?
It's not in Olneyville. Like that's where you can get the actual wieners. There's a couple places there, but I got a guy that makes it in a pizza, and I'm sure there's a couple others in Rhode Island somewhere. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the potential?
Question. What type of pizza is it? Is it a Greek, New York style? Is it a Detroit style? What are we talking here?
It's a medium thin crust, nothing too thick, nothing too thin and crunchy because it has to support the weight of all of the stuff that's on it. So it's a medium thin crust. The guy that makes it for us, he just undercooks the dough just a little bit so that the thick edge is a little bit chewy, golden brown. But he puts everything on it like it was a hot wiener that you would get in Cranston or Olneyville or wherever.
Is Baba's still open?
You know what? I'm not familiar with that place, Joe. I'm sorry.
Okay, I guess it was a Providence spot. I should ask our buddy Riz, who's on there, but I believe that they make the hot wiener as well on a pizza, so that's why I was the hot wiener.
Yeah,
what would you rather, the hot wiener or a hot wiener on a pizza?
You know what? It depends on the mood. And this my guy that makes them for me, he brings it to pub night every once in a while. We have a small group of guys. We get together. We have a few Guinness, a couple of Irish whiskeys, and he'll bring a hot wiener pizza. He used to have a pizza shop himself, so he's very creative with that stuff. He made an Italian grinder pizza for us one time that was out of this world as well.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate the heads up on that, Dana. I might have to make a trip out there now.
Yeah, it's you got to find it. It's a great pizza. Check it out.
I will. Thank you for calling, sir. I appreciate your kind words. Mark is in Norwood. Talking
hey, how you doing? Great show. Hey, I wish I had some disposable cash, man. You can make a lot of money with that guy. Yeah, oh, Jesus.
I know, but Sammy is one of the best, man. And
unbelievable. Unfortunately, I don't have any money. So
Nesson gave up on him, though. So
I was going to rag on the Sox, but if we're talking pizza, pizza and wings and steak dips, you got to try Little Tony's in Norwood.
Dude, you know what? You're the second guy to tell me that like, in the last month or so.
I heard the other guy on there.
I mean, Norwood for me is Lewis's, Conrad's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, like so where else? You know.
Steak tips in Little Tony blows Conrad's out of the water.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, as a steak tip aficionado, unbelievable. And then they make a bar pizza that is, I'm told, second to none. The South Shore bar pizza, not my thing, but also a North End style Italian pizza that's just phenomenal.
Hey, what's the old Mad Maggie's now? What is that?
Oh, it's Boston Tavern.
Is that any good?
It's okay. Like it is good. It's good. I haven't eaten there yet. It's kind of a fun place.
What about the 60s?
I mean, I was always a Lewis's guy, but
yeah. Oh yeah, my buddy Joe. He's the chef there.
Yeah, great spot. Still good. The Lewis Burger is still phenomenal.
We used to go there at 6 a.m. and the bar was open.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, when you go there at 6 a.m. and the same people are sitting on the same bar stools every morning at the same time.
They have some nudes in there, I think, too.
Oh, it's phenomenal, dude. That's part of the ambiance.
The charm, exactly.
I wanted to rag on the Sox a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm more miserable that they're winning or if they would be losing. I mean, it seems as though, like, I'm not around the team every day, but if you were, wouldn't you know that this was I think it's a formidable lineup. And of course, because I could find something to complain about all the time, they didn't do enough for the bullpen. I mean, this is a team, I think this team could compete, or am I full of baloney?
I think they're a good team that's very resilient, but they don't have the arms, Mark, and I appreciate your call. And this goes back to earlier this year. They didn't set it up right. I think they're going to run out of gas, but as far as their offense goes, if they got any pitching, they could have went to the playoffs. Ben's in Nashville. Hey, Ben.
You're just going to the new Elm Street?
Hey, Ben. Ben!
I heard they have...
Be careful here, guys. Puddle back out. Let's see what we got. Hey, Ben.
Well, I was reading it today, and it's like...
Hey, Ben! One more time. Ben!
Even Fairgrounds is...
All right, forget him. He's done. Fairgrounds? Which Fairgrounds? Is he talking about the spot that Felger and Big Jim did their remote at?
Worst part about that, Joe, is I think he wanted to compliment us.
Oh, he did?
Yes. And he got distracted.
How can he not hear me?
He was talking about the fairgrounds, Joe. He had a lot going on.
Well, call back. Not now, though. This hour of the Sports Hub is brought to you. You know what someone did that really, this is a...
Is that a Nick, Joe?
It's amusing. Hey, Nick, yeah. Someone stapled this upside down. Look. So now when I flip the page, it doesn't go to the next hour. It goes to the hour before.
I will say normally I am the one that staples the log. I did not staple that log.
Well, I
did not staple that one.
Guys, you do your job.
I'm not going to pass the buck, and I don't know who did it. So
you're the guy who does his job. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change. And Valve Innocent Oil Change now open in Rainham, Reading, and Braintree. In or out next here on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
was out and left for Darian Lowe. Will miss, well, it's not immediate time, but did miss practice today with an upper body injury. The Chiefs and Pro Bowl center Creed Humphrey have reached a 4-year, $72 million extension. $50 million is guaranteed. He's the highest paid center in NFL history. The Washington Commanders have traded former first-round pick Jahan Dotson to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a third-round pick and 2 seventh-round picks. And the Red Sox off tonight. They host Arizona tomorrow. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5. The Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
All right, in our route tonight, we pushed it back a little bit. We'll talk to John Sarianides coming up in about 15 minutes. Until then, we're going to have some fun. Skaz, this is the last in or out of the week. We get 2 more.
For you.
For me. I know that's right, because McCarthy, I like how when I'm not here, the guys still play the games.
We will have McCarthy and Kendra Middleton playing in a row tomorrow night.
Oh.
Little doubleheader.
Well, that's good.
We'll have to get maybe we'll get a Middleton's musings or a McCarthy's musings. I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled if I see anything. So what do we got tonight?
All right, Joe. Thursday night edition of In or Out. Your last one until Monday. We will start with Hulu, Joe. We got our first look today at Glenn Powell in Chad Powers. The series follows a college quarterback whose career ends after bad behavior. So he walks onto a struggling Southern football team disguised as the talented Chad Powers. This series comes from basically an Eli Manning, I think, or Peyton. I think it was Eli doing like a fake ad.
Yeah.
And now we're getting an entire Hulu series with Glenn Powell, who's one of the bigger names going right now. So, Joe Murray, are you in or out on a Chad Powers series?
I'm in. I kind of like that stuff. Like 21 Jump Street 2 was like that too. Remember? He was
our man Ice Cube.
That's right. And he found out about his daughter, and then he always looked mad. He always had like that mad face, you know. I'm in on this. I like that kind of stuff. I'm in. You know why? Because it's possible, but then like you never know. You always wanted to try. There's a little bit of curiosity there, so I'm in on this.
All right, Joe, from Hulu to Disney Plus. Disney Plus announced today that we will be getting a John Williams documentary titled Music by John Williams. It will release November 1st on Disney Plus. The documentary will also have a limited theatrical release. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a documentary about the legendary John Williams?
Fine.
You're more in on a Chad Powers fake Hulu series than the guy that's put together like the best movie soundtracks of all time.
Listen, the Star Wars stuff is great.
Didn't he do Jurassic Park as well?
He did Harry Potter. You're right. This is probably better than the other one. But I feel like there was something else I watched that was about this. What was the music? What movie was it? They were talking about how, what was it? All right, fine. But we're going to hear like, dun, 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 dun. Like, is that what you're going to get that? Like, what made you make this music for Darth Vader?
Yeah, probably. It's going to be that. It's going to be Jaws. It's going to be Jurassic Park. All the Star Wars, Superman.
Oh, Superman, okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Dun, dun, dun.
Indiana Jones. I mean, E.T. The guy's got a deep bag, Joe.
Guy's probably made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to know what that contract looks like. Home Alone.
Whoa. What was the name of John Candy's band again?
the Kenosha Kickers.
Yeah, there you go. Was John Williams a part of that?
He's the poker king of the Midwest.
You know me. We're famous. What do you call those jackets?
Like a Letterman jacket, kind of, right?
Yeah, but what do they? There's another name for them, like a
bomber jacket.
But exactly, there you go. I want one. I want one of those. Do you think they make them in my size?
Somebody's got to.
You know who wore one? If anybody remembers who Pasta Joe is, Pasta Joe would wear a huge Wheaties. Just an orange, huge bomber jacket that said Wheaties. Well, what did they say? Wheaties. I like Pasta Joe. I haven't seen him in a while. He works at a dispensary. The last time I saw him, he reeked of marijuana. And he goes, "Hey, I work at a dispensary." He said, "Oh, that's why you smell." And fine, I'm in.
All right, Joe, this is one you sent to Slack, maybe during the show even, or just before. But that was some Taco Bell dessert kits, Joe. They are Taco Bell dessert, not taco shells, and what looks like Doritos and ice cream or something.
Choco Tacos.
Basically, yes, the Taco Bell version of that, and then a dessert nachos kit.
In.
Joe Murray, are you in or out on Taco Bell's dessert kits?
In. Some fast food has excellent dessert. Chili's makes a great lava cake. Sylvan Street Grill makes a little Nestle's Toll House pie. Oh, my God. Or as Ryan and Malden would say, "Oh, my don." But some fast food is fantastic ice cream. Sonic, I don't even like their food. I only go for the ice cream or the drinks that they have. Does KFC make any ice cream or dessert? They must have a pie or something, right? Now you
probably do like chocolate chip cookies or something.
Ooh, KFC desserts. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Our menu, desserts. In the UK, they do. Ooh, they have an Oreo sundae, a peppermint sundae, Milky Bar sundae, a white chocolate. There you go, white chocolate cookies, guys, and then a mini chocolate sundae. In. What else we got?
I had a feeling you were going to be in on that one.
Why has everything been going back to KFC lately?
Joe, we got a new sneaker released today. I believe you put this in Slack as well. But Bo Jackson's Nike Air Trainer SC Highs in Raiders away colors have been released. Classic black and white Nike. It looks a little like a high top Air Max almost. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Bo Jackson Nikes?
In.
It's Bo.
Anything Bo Jackson. That's another thing I collect is Bo Jackson cards. Whether he's on the White Sox, the Angels, whether he was on the Raiders, Auburn, you name it, I collect anything Bo Jackson. Royals. I actually have one I'm selling this week. I got a Royals Bo Jackson PSA 9. Bringing it to the show.
Yeah, I'm in on Bo. Bo knows.
It's my favorite athlete. He was my favorite athlete, and then he got hurt, and it really made me mad. But by the way, on ESPN, it was always like, Bo working back from a hip injury. Bo was working. Like, for years, Bo Jackson's coming back. Then he finally came back, and he still hit some home runs, even though he had a fake hip. But he couldn't move. He actually, I think, might have played first base at the end of his career. But he was like a center field. Like Aaron Judge plays center field. That's kind of wild. Though. Who doesn't love Bo Jackson?
All right, Joe, we'll head to Instagram for this one. Instagram is introducing a new feature, they're calling it, but it's very similar to MySpace, allowing you to add a song of your choice to your profile. People remember MySpace back in the day. You could add a song to your page. So whenever you load up someone's Instagram page now, you will hear the song of their choice. Joe Murray, in or out?
In. My Instagram song was from The Flies, Got You Where I Want You.
Your MySpace song.
Oh, sorry. Yes, my MySpace song.
The Flies.
The Flies, Got You Where I Want You.
My last MySpace song, probably like 2008-ish, was It's Going Down by Young Jock.
Meet me at Mom.
Meet me
Going down.
Classic. Banger.
I had that. I had Flashing Lights at one point.
Flashing Lights, big. That was a big one.
And then I had Notorious B.I.G. What was the name? I don't think we can play it anymore because it's P. Diddy's canceled now. What was the name of that song? The sun don't shine forever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh my God, it was just so cool at the beginning. But yes, in. Oh yeah, bring all the nostalgia MySpace back in. I'll make a top 8 friends list if you want.
Tom from MySpace really had it figured out. Guy just got an absolutely massive check. We've never heard from him again. That's the dream right there. Now we got guys in social media we can't get rid of.
Yeah, we have Zuckerberg.
It's brutal.
It's real bad.
All right, Joe, we'll end with this one tonight. A new documentary is in the works.
Victory was the song. Thank you, Riz.
There you go. Of course, Riz. Love Riz. All right, Joe. A new documentary is in the work exploring the Buffalo Bills fandom, the loyalty of the Buffalo Bills fans through pain and misery is what it's titled. A pair of Buffalo Bills fans who also happen to be accomplished filmmakers are going behind the scenes with one of the most legendary fan bases in pro sports. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a documentary about Buffalo Bills fans?
In. Let me just say this. I think Bills Mafia sucks.
But like in a funny way.
Yeah. But I actually, if I wanted to go to an away game, I'd want to go there.
I've been to a Bills game in Buffalo.
Have?
Oh, yeah. Bills, Patriots. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I want to jump off a car and jump onto a hot flaming table.
Get covered in ketchup and mustard like the one guy does.
But I'm in. By the way, I put one more in or out. I don't know if you threw it in there. I know we got to talk to John Sarianides in a minute here. It was about a supermarket.
I don't know if I saw this one, Joe.
In or out on using dividers in the supermarket line?
I'm in on this. I think you got to. Depending on the number, like if you're just throwing 2 or 3 items up there, fine. But if there's a line and people are behind you, you got to put the divider up.
Today I put tempura chicken nuggets, barbecue and sweet and sour sauce, and a Celsius. Person in front of me already had their stuff through. I put mine up. They still put the divider on.
So you took
so you
it
know
as
what
like
I
a
did?
personal insult?
So you know what I did? I took the divider and I put it back.
Well, so you're saying your stuff was the only stuff on the belt?
It was the only stuff on the belt.
That seems like a little bit of overkill
there. Why did they do that?
Did that give you an ick, Joe?
Why did they do that? If I want a divider, I'm going to put the divider, not you. I'm very calm right now. But at the time...
It's really got to you.
We could talk about this another night.
So you're in on the dividers, is what you're saying, but not in that instance.
I want to be the one in control of the divider. I don't want someone else dictating my dividership.
I can see that. They just didn't want them to, get scanned, and then they.
So what? It doesn't matter if that happened. That's your loss. Tell me you don't wish that though.
Oh, they did, and then they're just like,
wait, that's mine. Well, you already paid for it. Thank you.
Have you ever? This has happened to me before, where someone is buying like 1 or 2 items, and they're like fumbling around in front of you, and I'm just in a rush. I'll just be like, you take it and go.
I've done that.
I'll pay the $3 or whatever.
Yes.
Just please go so I can go.
Yeah.
100% in on that.
Oh, do you know how many times I've been like, hey, I'm going to pay for it. Can you add a coffee or whatever? Yeah. Because I used to double dip back in the day.
We've heard about Joe Murray double dipping on his way in.
And again, Route 1 South, the place to be. I used to do Starbucks coffee, Dunks blueberry muffins. And then I'd come in and do the morning show with Fred, or if Fred wasn't here, whoever was here. And then everyone would ask me, what's in the bag? What's in the bag, man? And every day I'd tell them, a blueberry muffin. We're going to talk to Dr. Football, John Sarianides, coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way. Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here tonight. We have 70 people watching right now on our YouTube chat. Just go to youtube.com, search 98.5 the Sports Hub, go on right into the app. See a bunch of people talking about renting cars. That's the sound of Metallica, which means there's only one man on the line right now. He's from New England Football Journal. His name's John Sarianides, and he joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. John, how are you tonight, sir?
Good. How you doing, Joe?
Good. Skaz posed a question to me yesterday, and I said, you know what? This is a question for John Sarianides. John, who is the best football team, college or pro, or even high school for that matter, in Massachusetts?
Ooh, that is a very good question. Well, based on recent performance, I think you would have to say the Holy Cross Crusaders. Bob Chesney did a terrific job there in recent years. They were they won multiple Patriot League titles, a perennial FCS playoff team. I'd say if you're basing it on recent performance, I would have to say that Holy Cross has been the best program top to bottom in Massachusetts the last few years.
Okay, how would you rank them? Who else would be on that? I said Holy Cross to him last night as well. But, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, where do the Patriots rank among some of these teams? Because, I mean, who's going to win more games, UMass or the Patriots?
That's a good question. There's a good chance I think they could end up winning the same amount. I'm going to say the Patriots for now, which will probably chap the passionate UMass fan base. But if at the end of the Patriot season they win the same amount of games as UMass did, it wouldn't surprise me. They only won one more game than UMass did last year, so it's quite possible that they could win the same amount. Although I'm a little bullish on the Minutemen this year. I think that they're going to stay in bowl contention into the later part of their schedule. So I could see UMass winning 4 or 5, maybe even 6 games if they stay healthy and a couple things break their way.
Whoa. Okay. So you would take the over on that win total then. Okay, all right. Just making sure that we're on the same page on that. Just a little Pat stuff. So Gerard Mayo tells you there's a competition. Then you hear that Elliott Wolf makes the final decisions on the roster. Then Alex Van Pelt tells you that Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback. Who's in charge of the Patriots?
It's interesting because a friend of mine and I got into a pretty heated conversation about this last night, and I sense that you're probably on his wavelength in regards to it doesn't seem like anyone is in charge. And look, it's hard to say. I mean, on the surface, you think that Gerard Mayo and his coaching staff would ultimately decide who makes this team and who starts. But the more we're hearing about this collaborative effort and collaboration, the more it seems like it could be Elliott Wolf that's pulling those strings. I mean, they're sending mixed messages, and I don't care about the optics of it, Joe, but I think for me it's more or less you can have collaboration, but ultimately someone has to be the final decision maker. I don't know who that is right now. It's hard for us to gauge who that could be. Again, like I said, Mayo was asked yesterday about Drake May's standing and whether or not he could potentially start week 1 against Cincinnati or start eventually, and he says that he thinks it's his decision, but then he sounds unsure. Then we hear this about Wolf, and then Van Pelt comes out and he muddies the waters further. I think we need to get some clarification here as to who has the actual final say, because right now we have no idea.
So Alex Van Pelt is the head coach of the offense. He's here to implement an offense and wants Jacoby Brissett to be the guy to run his offense. So is that taking away from Drake May potentially getting reps with the first team and being the starter?
I think so, because I think that that's how they've approached it all of camp, where they've viewed Brissett as the starter, even though that I would give Brissett a C grade in terms of camp. I think he's had some flashes of good moments, but I've also seen some flashes where he doesn't look like the starter. But yeah, I think for me, I think his past history with Brissett, there's more of a comfort level there. I think maybe he and the offensive staff see him as the starter, but I'm not sure the entire organization sees him as the starter. Look, Drake May did some nice things last week. I don't think that Drake May played so well that it should alter their plan. I also don't think that Drake May has looked that good in the past week that we should be talking about altering their plan. I know that that's out there, that Drake May has been performing at a higher level than he has all camp, and he has been better. But this idea that all of a sudden you're going to get away from the plan in terms of his development because he had a decent outing against Philadelphia last Thursday night and he's made a couple of wild throws in practice, I don't buy it. I still think that if they had their druthers, Joe, they would want it to be Brissett, at least for the first 6 to 8 weeks. But as it stands now, if he doesn't play well on Sunday night, assuming he plays, and let's say May plays well or even plays like he did last week, I think they have a real decision on their hands. I don't think it's that clear-cut that it's Brissett, despite what Van Pelt said today.
Yeah, because Gerard Mayo keeps saying, "Oh, it's quarterback competition," but he's got
but have you noticed? But have you noticed that he's pivoted on that? Right, like at the start of, in the off season, especially after minicamp, he was pretty definitive that Jacoby Brissett was in the driver's seat, that he was going to be the guy, and he was maintaining that position throughout the first few weeks of camp. But now he's pivoted all of a sudden, and what it makes me wonder is, why has he pivoted? Is he getting pressure from above to potentially play May? I don't know, but the pivot to me is pretty interesting.
Well, he's Mr. Pivot, right? He's we're going to burn cash, and he's had a bad offseason, and I think today Van Pelt made him look foolish. I do. I think he made him look foolish. I don't know how to evaluate Gerard Mayo. I think he's already put the responsibility on the offense. If something goes wrong, at least Mayo's smart. He's going to put it on Van Pelt because, again, he's the one who's going to make – Wolf's going to make the decisions. Van Pelt's going to implement everything. But Mayo, I think he knows what he wants, but at the same time, it's Van Pelt that's on the line here. So is that what's best for the Patriots, though, what Van Pelt wants for the long term of the Patriots?
Well, again, this goes back to the conversation I was telling you that I had yesterday. And I think ultimately it has to be Mayo that makes the final decisions. If he's not making the final decisions on playing time and who's starting, then all he has is a title. That he's not actually a true decision maker. And at that point, why do you want to be a head coach in an organization that doesn't empower you to be the final decision maker? So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, who starts at quarterback should be his call with input from the staff. The staff should have input. Make no mistake about it, and they should have a pretty large voice, particularly Van Pelt, McCartney, and Ben McAdoo. But ultimately, Mayo's got to come out and own that decision. You can't deflect here, Joe. He can't come out and say, well, it was a collaborative decision to start Drake May if Drake May starts eventually. It's not. There has to be someone has to be the final voice in that conversation and say, Doug, he's our guy. This whole we're going to do things from a collaborative standpoint. It's great that you want to be the anti-Bill Belichick, but at some point you've got to step up and be the man. You've got to be the one making the decision. That's why you're the head football coach. That's why you're making more money than those guys. I hope they're empowering him to be that guy, because if they're not, he's not going to win here and he's not going to last.
All right, talking with John Sarianides. He's from New England Football Journal. Give him a follow. They're doing college recaps right now. There's high school football going on. And, of course, they're breaking down all the Patriots stuff. as well. John, just offensive line real quick. The Patriots used to love those lean tackles, right? Nate Solder, Sebastian Vollmer, even Matt Light going way back. What's changed? Why do they prefer the more rotund, putting it nicely, the rotund tackle over like the lengthy guy that they used to always have?
Well, I think one of the things you have to consider is that Solder and Light all three of those guys were high draft picks, for one. So those guys are not easy to find, especially if you're not prioritizing them in the first and second round of the draft. So that's part of the reason why they haven't had those guys in recent years, because they haven't prioritized taking them early in the draft, which is where you're going to find those guys. I think the other thing here is that they've prioritized the offensive line, and let's give them some credit. They've had some pretty good success day 2 and 3 in terms of drafting offensive linemen, but they have prioritized those positions in the middle and later rounds, and that's why you've ended up with what you've ended up. So if you want to end up with that pure, prototypical pure left tackle that's long, athletic, has thin ankles, good feet, can cut the edge off a speed rusher, force him to redirect, all that good stuff. If you want that guy, you got to take him early. If you don't take him early, it's harder to find that guy after you get past the first 8 to 10 picks, specifically at the tackle position.
All right, man. You ready for week 0? Florida State, Georgia Tech. You got Hawaii on the midnight special. Little SMU action as well. And, well, New Mexico is a 14-point underdog to an FCS school. You ready for week 0?
I am ready for week 0. It sneaks up on you, man. You know, you think at the beginning of August that you have some time with college training camps, and then you blink and it's week 0. Next weekend, of course, is week 1, and we're going to have some New England teams in action. So it sneaks up on you fast, but I'm ready.
All right, I got one more for you before we let you go. This has been a brewing take that it's hard for me to like talk to people who cover pro sports and talk about it. But I'm starting to feel as though college quarterbacks are ready to go. Like, I don't want to hear college quarterbacks aren't ready for the pros, because some of these guys are playing 5-6 years. They're getting thousands of reps. They don't even, when the season's over, they're still working out at the school. So, when a guy, let's just use Drake May for an example, or even Bo Nix for that matter. They have been playing. They had the combine. Now they get there's only been 20 days of camp, John. Like, how do some of these veterans get ready in 20 days in 3 preseason games where they get, 3 drives? I don't want to hear any more of these college quarterbacks aren't ready to go anymore. I just feel like that they've had so much time to be ready. And even Bill Parcells mentioned it. He goes, it's about the situation more than anything. Drew Bledsoe said it's more about setting them up. And the Patriots aren't set up for Drake May, but are the Broncos set up for Bo Nix?
I don't think so. I mean, I do think that they have better talent at a couple of key spots.
Receiver, definitely.
Receiver and left tackle. Garrett Bowles is better than Fadarian Lowe. But I don't think that the Broncos are that much better set up for Bo Nix to start than the Patriots are. I do think the difference is, one, you have an offensive head coach in Sean Payton who can develop a quarterback and accelerate a quarterback's development. And 2, Bo Nix has played a ton in college. Remember, he played at Auburn and Oregon. He's older. He's in his mid-20s. So I think that probably accelerates his timeline a little bit too. So Bo Nix should play over Drake May. Drake May, in many ways, is the antithesis of Bo Nix in that he's young. He's not even 22 yet. He's about to turn 22. He plays for a defensive head coach. He's got to learn this system from an offensive staff that he's not familiar with. It is different in that regard. So Bo Nix is in a better situation to start sooner than Drake May is.
All right, man.
Drake May, for what it's worth, Joe, Drake May only had 22 career starts in college. I mean, Bo Nix, I don't know, I think Bo Nix was a freshman when you and I were at 15-10 in 2007.
That is very true. Happy birthday to the wife. What'd you guys do tonight?
Took her to a barbecue place in Rhode Island called the Great Northern. Good spot. Got her a new laptop for her special day. She was due for one of those. We had a little bit of cake. Good day.
For goodness
Good day.
sake.
Low key, but good day.
What kind of cake did you get?
We got a Carvel ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with it anytime.
There used to be one in the Lambert's parking lot in Westwood.
Yes, I frequented that one.
Oh,
it helped expand my waistline through the years.
Yeah, you could go to Lambert's and get those calzones that they have there or a sandwich and then walk
fantastic.
right next door.
The sandwiches are unbelievable.
The Carvel ice cream cake, that thing's a legend, dude. The little cookie inside it. And that, what is that like? I don't know what it was. What is on the outside of that? It's a marshmallow?
It's like chocolate crumble, like almost like chocolate cookie crumble.
Man.
It's the real deal. And the other thing is, it already says happy birthday on it. All you need to do is buy the candles, set it up, light them up, you're done. Now, I suck at lighting candles, so I did have her light the candles, but then she was in the other room. I went into the kitchen, put them on the cake, brought it out, lights were off, looked like a hero, done.
Did they do it at the restaurant?
No, we did it at home.
Good. I am
the place we went to in Providence, good food, a little bit of a hipster spot. They did have dessert, but she wanted a Carvel cake, so we didn't have the hipsters treat us to dessert or do the cake.
I am out on public happy birthdays at a restaurant. Those people don't care about you.
No, they really don't. I'm with you. I hate the fake enthusiasm.
I don't want your fake. You don't know me. I don't want a happy birthday from you that's disingenuous.
Right. And the other issue I have with it is they all sound the same, right? Happy birthday to you, and they clap and they act like a bunch of trained seals, and then they walk off. Like, who cares? Yeah, stop. I'm with you on that.
They don't care about you. They don't know your name. They're doing it because they have to, and I don't want that.
Right. It's disingenuous. It's disingenuous. I'm good. Right. But there are people that love it, though, man. You see some of these people that, it's their birthday. They feel special. Who doesn't on their special day? But I'm out on that. Out on rando waitresses and waiters singing happy birthday to me.
One time I got a mariachi band.
That would be pretty cool. I will say that.
And I was like, oh, man. When do they stop? that was kind of me like, oh, man, can we get this over with? But
did they call you Senor Joe?
They did not. They just came over and started playing. It was really loud. And I'm like, all right, when are you going to end? Thank you. Okay.
Stop, I'm good. Yeah. Were you at a Mexican restaurant at least?
Yeah, yes. You know what?
Okay.
Know what else about a Mexican restaurant? It's a wicked power move when you get fajitas, because when they come out smoking, right? So it's like everyone pays attention to the smoking fajitas.
Yes. But the reason I asked you if you were at a Mexican restaurant is, believe it or not, I've seen mariachi bands at like American bistros. So it's not that out of the norm.
I'm kind of out on that.
Oh, I'm out on it too. I mean, the mariachi band, I think, would be cool for about 30 seconds. But yeah, in general, I'm out on rando waitresses and waiters singing to me. It's uncomfortable.
All right, John. Well, this is we got one more preseason game, and then the regular season starts, man. So this is I'm off. Because of the summer is here, they got me moving around. So this is the last time I can have you on until the regular season. So we will talk then when the Patriots begin Week 1 as they're on to Cincinnati.
Well, looking forward to it, my friend, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy any downtime you might get here with Labor Day coming, and let's talk ball when you get back.
You got it. And New England Football Journal, all the latest on college, high school, and, of course, NFL as well. He's John Sarianides. John, appreciate your time tonight, and we'll catch up after the holiday.
Peace, my brother. Take care. Later, James.
Yeah, later. All right. Let's talk to football. John Sarianides. Carvel cake. Oh, you gotta cut it with a nice big steak knife, though. Oh, the Carvel cake is really good. Is it good or is it nostalgia? I can't really tell. It's like a hoodsie, Is a hoodsie even really good? Oh, remember the Knights, guys? I did a one scoop. Right down. All right, let's take a look at the headlines. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots had practice today. Drake May took a few more snaps with the starting offense. So that's a change. For Derek.
Sports Hub.
He was playing the best, I think, at the time. Some took it as I was, trying to start something. But he had just won the Eastern Conference MVP. And then he actually ended up winning the MVP in the finals. I don't know if I was wrong, but as we know, media sometimes could take it as I was trying to start something between Jason and Jalen. But it wasn't that. I was just making a comment that, Jalen's playing at a high level. Holiday agreed. And so it wasn't that I was starting anything, but Jalen was. He was playing his best basketball at the right time, and I made that comment. And some took it as I was trying to start something, but I wasn't.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm not buying Jason Kidd at 1 second of what he just said. Not 1 second. Dude, you guys knew that you were screwed when you took on the Celtics. And when game one happened and Kristaps Porzingis came off the bench and lit you up, you knew the only way to stop the Celtics was trying to divide Brown and Tatum. And you know what? Brown was playing better than Tatum. But it was more about Brown doing whatever he wanted to because he had the better matchup, while Tatum was doing everything and sacrificing his game. This isn't a Brown versus Tatum discussion. This is a Jason Kidd had nothing else, knew they were screwed, and we talked to Ice Cube about this. He was with a lot of big personalities, right? Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren, Yella, all those guys. People were trying to divide them too, if you remember. So he knew a little something about it, just to be relatable. But yeah, Jason Kidd, you knew you had nothing else. So you know what you did? You tried to divide them up. It didn't work. You tried, but it didn't work. So, Skaz, I know you said, hey, let's do that here. Do you agree with me? Or do you know what? He's a guy I never believe anything he says anyways.
Yeah, I think his team had their backs up against the wall, and he was, in desperation mode, trying to do anything possible to create any kind of friction with the Celtics and just get his team any advantage they could use, because they certainly needed it in the finals. And yeah, so he's doing him and Jaylen Brown are working together on some, pretty good stuff out in California, I believe. So, good for them. But yeah, I don't believe that Jason Kidd was, just giving flowers to Jaylen Brown, because there's a way to do that without, doing what he did. So yeah, I think he's just kind of taking his loss, and this is what comes with it. He's just like, yeah, well, I tried, but didn't work.
But I didn't mean to do that. No.
Yeah.
No. Well, hopefully we don't have to see.
Jason Kidd probably would have had Jaylen Brown on the Olympic team, though.
Speaking of Jaylen Brown, guess he's coming out with a rap song, huh?
That's what the Twitter is saying, Joe. The Twitter streets saying that Jaylen Brown and one ASAP Ferg are dropping a song together. It seems to potentially maybe be some snippets of it out there, but nothing confirmed, I don't believe yet.
Well, this is your daily reminder that the Boston Celtics are NBA champions, in case anybody was wondering.
Yes, and I know we'll do it maybe a little later in the show, but there's an article on 98.5thesportshub.com that James Stewart was nice enough to ask me to participate in with him, and we drafted the best possible Celtics teams you could since the inception of the Sports Hub, so basically since 2009 on. We tried to keep it, no overlap. Got to pick specific years, because there's a lot of guys in the Celtics that play different positions year to year, Garnett, Horford, Jalen, and Jason. So, yeah, it's if you're a Celtics fan, I think it's really cool. Doing anything Celtics related with Jay Stu is always great. So, yeah, it's 98.5thesportshub.com. I believe he tweeted it. I've tweeted it. The station tweeted it. So, yeah, check that out if you're a Celtics fan.
Ballers want to be rappers, and rappers want to be ballers. Riz wrote that in chat. He's right. All right, Skaz. Well, we've had a busy night tonight. So
Three guests, Joe.
3 guests.
Triple dipping.
Jeff Marigal from the Best Flippin' Show. I'll be there Saturday, everybody, 9 to 5 at Polar Park. Come by. I'm at table 34 and 35. And I get a lot of stuff. And I get some really good custom stuff. Plenty of Celtic stuff. I got a Ric Flair Woo collection. The Rock Final Boss collection. I got some good stuff. So come by and check us out. We got Musings coming up. But we'll pause. And, of course, this hour of the Sports Hub and the person who stapled this thing. I'm going to... Look at this thing. Look. Every time I put the thing back, it goes to another hour. Who stapled something like this? Who did this? Where am I? Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change. And Valvoline is an oil change now open at Franklin, Bill Ricca, and Peabody. Who does this? You know what you might as well do? You might as well just print it all up again and do it the right way. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
NFL news, Creed Humphrey got a $50 million guarantee with the Chiefs, while the Commanders have sent Jahan Dotson to the Eagles in exchange for a third-round pick. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game. And listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We got some good birthdays today. We'll get those out to you in just a little bit. Couple of things that I wanted to just bring up real quick. I thought this one was pretty interesting. We all know Dave Portnoy, El Prez of Barstool Sports. He does these pizza reviews. By the way, weird pet peeve. So, I do food stuff, right? But I don't, give grades. I'm not a grader. It's either you like my reaction or you don't. You like my moan or you don't. How many moans? Is it 1, 9? I don't know. I'm not a grader. I just eat it. I'm going to eat it anyways. Whether I like it or not, I'm going to eat it. But this is an interesting story. Headline says, Florida man impersonated Dave Portnoy reviewed pizza joint for several years to dupe tourists with undercooked food. A Florida man allegedly impersonated a popular pizzeria, once given a favorable review from Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, to fool unsuspecting tourists into ordering undercooked and fraudulently priced food. Jose Marti Alvarez, he's 55, accused of falsely advertising his business in hotels throughout Miami Springs as the popular Roman's Pizzeria and conning hungry customers into buying incredible food to make money off the shop's notoriety. He targeted hotels near the Miami International Airport. Law enforcement says the alleged fraudster pulled off the scam for several years and slowly tarnished Roman's Pizzeria's name. Customers filed complaints against the actual pizza joint with the Better Business Bureau and negative reviews online. The owner, Jesus Roman, said that he's been dealing with the issue for years and first caught wind of the scam when upset customers started reacting out to his shop. Sometimes they show up upset here to the store claiming, "Where's the food?" We have to explain to them it's not us. After the complaints began to mount, Roman, who's owned the pizzeria for over 40 years, said he had to file a police report. Alvarez was nabbed by police Monday and booked into the Turner Guilford Correctional Center. An alleged fraudster was charged with organized scheme to defraud. The suspect pizza imposter is also facing an aggravated battery charge for allegedly hitting a hotel staff member with his vehicle when he tried to flee after being confronted in the parking lot. After discovering Alvarez was arrested, Roman had a stern message for the man running his business reputation. At least if you're going to do something, do it right. Portnoy rated Roman Pizzeria. Brand of the shop's plain cheese has a solid 7.4. The crust is the showstopper for the pizza. Super fresh, super light, good undercarriage. Called it a football pizza. Perfect for eating while lounging around on football. So, guys, I've been noticing people mimicking others. Is this not sports bettors? There's no one that can do what Stu Feiner does, right? Do you think people try?
Yes.
Okay. What about women who show their outfits of the day and then do walks? Do you think that market is being cornered now?
Joe, it almost seems as if you're hinting at something.
I'm just bringing up the fact that if someone does it and then someone else does it, is that them copying them? Is that them impersonating them? Should they be flattered by it? Or should they be like, hey, I do that? You know how many times we do things on the night show and people do it elsewhere and it's like, where'd you hear that?
I think if you're
I'm flattered by it.
If you're worried about that stuff, you don't have enough going on in your life would be my first thought on that. I'm pretty sure there's tons of people out there that post videos of themselves walking and doing numerous different things. So yeah, I think it's grasping at straws to be upset about something like that seems like a pretty small thing to be upset about.
You know, sometimes we all have our own little trademarks there.
I mean, Joe, we have numerous shows on the station. I know you're not a fan of emails to shows. But
out on emails.
I don't remember there being a big clamoring when multiple shows started doing emails. I think that's almost a uniform thing that shows take emails. Never really heard too many complaints about it.
I just got an email. Love the show. The stream sucks. This is what I would recommend. If you don't like the stream, watch us on YouTube.
Yes.
Another one that I wanted to add here was our buddy there, the Colts fan. He's got another song for us this week, Skaz.
Yes, Joe, and I have to say I was much happier hearing this one as he went back to his Week 1 preseason roots with the finish compared to Week 2.
What's his name again? I forget his name.
I will find it. Give me 1 second. Seth Erskines, I believe. Seth DeFlo Erskines is what he goes by on Twitter.
DeFlo?
DeFlo, Joe. You gotta have a name.
Gotta have
putting out
DeFlo.
hits like that.
Gotta get that flow. All right, well, let's hear our buddy DeFlo, the Colts fan, with his new Colts song.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Bengals. Let's cook them and eat their stripes. This is our team. Go Colts!
Week 1, we got the nay. Week 2, we didn't get the nay. I was a little disappointed. Week 3, we got the nay again.
And this is who the Patriots are playing next, right? Wait, who did they sing the song against?
No, this is the Colts. This is a Colts fan, Joe.
Okay, but he talked about the stripes, though.
The Bengals. They're playing the Bengals.
That's who the Patriots are playing.
Yes, they play the Bengals next. Yes.
So we might have to re-rack that one Week 1 again.
Eat the stripes.
We want to take their stripes and eat them.
I'm all in on this kid. I need more fan songs.
Who's got a better horse, me or him?
It's him, Joe.
Can we hear it again? Just his at the end? Because I yeah, his is better. Mine sounds more real.
Oh, that was Mr. Ed for a second there, Joe.
There's certain noises that I can do really well, Skaz. Horse and an elephant. Oh. Have you ever heard my elephant noise?
I don't know. I can't recall. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
I went up to my room. I said, oh.
Do we get JP's moan in there, too?
1 second.
What was the guy tonight? What did he say tonight?
It was an OMG that he was,
my God.
I forget what caused it, but yeah.
Sounds like a seahorse, says Riz.
Oh.
No, there's JP.
Oh.
Oh. Joe sounds like Babar.
Oh.
What else we got from Musings? Anything else? Oh. By the way, back to the again. Market basket. Why is it always an experience for me? What is it?
Joe, I'm starting to think it might be a you thing.
I think it is a me thing. So today I had like a weird parking situation. I had a blinker on to go get into a spot, and then someone took it. And I literally said to them, I mumbled. You know, like Joe Pesci when he's mad at Home Alone, he's always like, That was me. Oh. So, yeah, I had a parking spot taken twice from me. And then I did a loop. I said, that's it. I'm looping around.
Are you a close parker?
I like to be as... You know what, Skaz? You're right. I'm lazy, so I like to be as close as possible.
Yeah, I park far away. I like a walk.
Here, let me give you another one. When I go to the Kowloon, right, the parking lot's jammed. Like, they can fit like 500 cars at the Loon. Okay? But nope. I pull right up to that front door, and I'll circle until there's something. And it's not... I know it's easy to say, Joe, you're lazy. No, I'm very good at finding spots close to the door.
Always the other side of the coin. Yeah, I'm a professional.
Exactly. Oh, you're lazy? No, I'm just good at what I do. Work smarter, not harder, everybody. All right, so yeah, I had that. And then, I went in, and I saw the 20 item or left, or whatever it was, and I avoided it. I had 4 items. So I went to the none, and what happened was everything was off the cart, off the little slider thing. I put my stuff down. The person put the divider down, and I went, and I put it right back. They didn't say anything to me. But I didn't like that. I want to be the person that dictates dividation. How do I say that? I want to be the one who decides who divides.
The divider.
I don't want you to take the divider and put it there. I will put it there. Giveth, taketh. I did. Oh, another thing happened. The cashier saw someone that they haven't seen in years, and they had a conversation in front of me.
Another brutal one is when it's like a fellow employee, and they're talking shop.
Yeah.
One of them's leaving, one of them just got to the register.
Did you see the schedule this week?
Yeah,
Can you
a lot
believe
of
they put me on
schedule
at 7 o'clock at night when I got my kid? Don't care.
Out on work schedule talk.
But yeah, today it was, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my God, how's the kids? How's Mary? How's school? Is she ready to go? Did you see the sale that's going on right now with the back to school?
What do you
Shut
think
up!
about Drake May?
No one talked about Drake May. It was about the school sale that was going on. What kind of backpack they're going to get this year. I think they wanted a Smurfs thermos or something. I forget what it was.
Smurfs still going strong, huh?
Dude, the Smurfs are still going, bro.
I always liked the underwater version of the Smurfs, whatever they were called. The Snorks? What were they called?
No.
You never saw them? They were like Smurfs,
I know
but
they were.
underwater, yeah.
Power Rangers was big when I was a kid. I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Still going. I don't know if Power Rangers is still going strong, but Teenage Mutant, they're definitely still going strong.
Yeah. And I told you, every day after school.
Darkwing Duck.
It was DuckTales. It was Chip and Dale, DuckTales, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck.
You were a big Darkwing Duck guy. I know
when
that.
there's trouble, you call DW. Launchpad McQuack was on DuckTales and... You know that? It's all a ploy.
I did see a commercial a couple weeks ago, and I had that nice moment of, I don't have to worry about that.
It was the Snorks, you're right.
Snorks, yes.
61 years old. Ty Burrell. So that was he. She was once on Sesame Street. You know that? She's 57 years old. Kristen Wiig, 51. Are you kidding me? James Corden is 46 years old. Just what we need in the world. Didn't someone say he should play Madden?
I hope not. I didn't see that.
Did you know that his middle name is Kimberly?
I did not know that.
Happy birthday to Dua Lipa.
All right.
What's her real? I'm actually going to look.
I think her real name is Dua Lipa, which is crazy.
Her real name is Dua Lipa.
You got to be famous. That's too good of a name to not be famous.
Yeah, like when she was born. Yep.
Her dad was her parents. Yep, yeah. Dua Lipa. That's a star.
Dance the night away. I can say it home somebody won't eat it in my face. When she does that, though, watch me dance. It's almost mesmerizing.
It's one word for it.
No, it's like when she says dance and then does the pole move.
Do you think people get upset that other people also dance, Joe? Is that allowed? Or is that a copying if you're also dancing?
You know, what
are we doing?
There's a lot of songs called Wish You Were Here. You know that? So is it copying? Like Godsmack, the band.
Oh, your favorite.
Stole the song that Alice in Chains made and their son and went famous because of it. And they, stole all their songs. Speaking of that, happy 57th birthday to Lane Staley of Alice in Chains. One of the greatest singers, not much of a songwriter. He did write Angry Chair, and he wrote Man in the Box. And I guess he was really high, and it was about, this meat package. And that's how they came up with I'm the Man in the Box. So he saw a package of meat, and that is the Man in the Box.
Sounds very Joe Murray-esque.
I mean, I guess so. Happy birthday to Jay Uso. Yeet.
How about the tuna?
Yes.
83 years old, Joe. Bill Parcells.
I'm going to be honest with you, with all the health issues he had early on in his life, to make it to 83, that guy's, I really, it's like, because he had to quit football. He had to, walk away from football a couple of times.
How about Yaz? 85 years old today.
Wow, I did not know that.
Carl Yastrzemski. 18-time All-Star.
The tuna. He walked in on Crosby's 27.
LaMelo Ball. 23 years old. You're out on them? I thought you were a big, I thought you had a lot of LaMelo inventory, Joe.
I have a lot of LaMelo inventory. I actually have a LaMelo Ball graded 10 that I'm bringing with me this week. Out on allergies, man.
Yeah, it sounds like you're losing the battle today.
Yeah, I feel fine. Like when you don't feel good, you know it, right? You're sleepy, and it's just it's in my it's in my nose. Can't really explain that one. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. Today is August 22nd. Wow. 75 people watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. This has been another Murray's Musings. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Still feel the odds of May being the starter against the Bengals on September 8th are tiny, though, Phil.
I think so, too. I think in some ways, maybe this push that we've witnessed is a little too late. They are going to be treating the rest of this week like a game week for Washington. My guess is if that's the case, Drake May is going to be working off the cards. He's going to be playing the role of Jaden Daniels, and Jacoby Brissett's going to be playing the role of Patriots starting quarterback. Now, if Brissett falls on his face this week, Tom, in practice, and it's just ugly, and there are picks left and right, and Drake May, meanwhile, is on the other side, he probably would actually love doing the Jaden Daniels thing this week. It just get to run around and scramble, and Jaden Daniels isn't even a huge, on-the-run kind of thrower. So is he going to even have the opportunity to show the coaching staff that he can win the job if he doesn't get any first-team reps with Jacoby Brissett practicing like the starter all week? My guess is no, Tom. But again, they are going to have opportunities to evaluate him in practice doing some of these other things. And if Brissett backslides enough, or it's clear and obvious to everyone on the team that Drake May is looking like the better quarterback in the here and now, then that's a conversation they have to have.
Pundits, they're interested in Drake May, but it's too little too late. And I agree with that. Maybe Van Pelt does see some progress with Drake May and had complimentary things to say today about him, but it's too late. There was no competition. It was a joke. Mayo preached a QB competition every day. Alex Van Pelt comes out today and says Drake May can't get reps with the top team because Jacoby Brissett's the starter. There never was a competition. And Belichick used to give us nothing. Now they're talking, and it's even worse. Van Pelt literally came out today and made Mayo look foolish. Is there still a chance for Drake May to be the week 1 starter in Cincy? Alex Van Pelt said, I'm sure. Mayo has said it's an open competition. I'm sure there's a chance. He also went on to say it's a bit about May's much-discussed development plan. What development plan? The one where he was going to sit behind Jacoby Brissett the entire time? Or the one where he doesn't have to go behind that offensive line or go up against that schedule? Alex Van Pelt's about winning now. And is that what's best for the New England Patriots? It might be, but it's selfish in a way, but it might be what's best. But it is laughable the way the things have transpired and how people have taken the cheese on everything. You know what else kind of drove me nuts? I stand by the take that when we talk about the Patriots going forward, you can't mention Bill Belichick anymore. Yep. Did Bill Belichick drive the team into the ground and leave the cupboard bare? Yep. But do you know what the team decided to do? Re-sign all those guys. And they could have drafted big tackles early on in the draft. They didn't. They could have signed free agents, real free agents. They didn't. They decided to spend it all on players that were already drafted by Bill Belichick. So, I am ending the Bill Belichick blame game. It's over for me. Now, has this new regime been competitive with offers? Absolutely. Calvin Ridley, they were competitive but wouldn't go the extra mile. And here's a quote that I always live by. Sometimes you got to go the extra mile. It's less crowded. Patriots have yet to do that. And when I saw Josina Anderson yesterday come out with, wow, the Patriots offer was really big, there were so many people who took the cheese on that. If you want to get a good player, you got to give him the bag. If Brandon Ayuk tells you he doesn't want to play in New England, well, how does $40 million guaranteed sound, sir? And guys, I get it. I don't think Ayuk's worth the $40 million. I don't. And I don't know if that's the right guy they should spend it on either. My point is if they wanted him, they could have made a bigger offer. That has nothing to do with Bill Belichick. I do feel the new regime is more aggressive. But I'm not taking the cheese that they should be let off the hook for not spending.
Yeah, but I also think that, they got to set a line somewhere. You can't just want a guy and hand him a blank check. So if they came to a number and it was a little over 30 and Ayuk wasn't going to take it, then I don't fault them for that at all. I mean, we've talked about it numerous times. Barth has mentioned it a bunch that wide receivers shake loose in the NFL. And with this roster, this year, this team, I don't think the addition of Brandon Ayuk was going to, separate them to a point where they're a playoff contender or anything like that. So I'm perfectly fine with them saying, thanks, but no thanks. We don't need to, stretch ourselves that far.
My point is, though, you're right. My point, though, is don't tweet out, oh, and all the reports that the Pats weren't spending. It's all Kraft not spending money. If they wanted the guy, they could have overpaid for him. Is he the right guy? Now, CeeDee Lamb, I'd think about.
The only thing with CeeDee Lamb that gives me pause is he's indoors. He's indoors. I know he plays in that division that, plays the Eagles and the Giants, and they do, but I'd love to look at his splits, indoor, outdoor, late in the season, because that's, with the Patriots, it's something you got to think about is, will these guys, it's something I'm still a little nervous about Drake May about. We don't know what Drake May looks like in cold weather. We have no idea. And I know that's, there's a lot of other things we need to get to first and see with Drake May first, but being the New England Patriots, it is something that you can't just overlook. There are players in this league, star players, look at half of the Miami Dolphins roster, that don't perform when it gets, under 55 degrees.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing is the Patriots have struggled bringing in wide receivers. So do you want to bring in a guy? Like the thing with Ayuk and Lamb, is it about the team? Like Brandon Ayuk's on a team that's a Super Bowl contender. And he's cares about money more than winning the Super Bowl. Like, if it was me, I'd have a big season, go out, bet on yourself, and then go to free agency. Which I think the 49ers would be fine with, too, right? Because they'd get one shot, and if he didn't want to play there anymore, he goes to free agency. You want guys that want to win. Unfortunately, the Patriots might be in a situation where you might have to bring in some guys just to pay them. But I just don't want to hear, for all the people who get on the Crafts for not spending. They still didn't spend. And you can have this debate with anybody you want. I understand they spent money on their own guys. Yes, they did. They spent money on their own guys. But did they upgrade? Do you think the Pats upgraded this year?
I think they're a better team than they were last year, yeah. I think they're better at quarterback.
Okay.
And I think that's a huge, huge piece of it, Joe. You're better at quarterback.
Are they better at offensive line?
Probably not, no.
Okay. Are they better at receiver?
I don't see how they're significantly worse, do you?
So not really an upgrade.
I mean, they drafted guys. I mean, if you believe, I think they're better at receiver.
Okay. They lose Barmore and Judon. Are they better on defense?
Barmore isn't their fault. He's hurt. He's not off the team. The Judon thing, yeah, that stinks. But a healthy Christian Gonzalez, hopefully. What'd you get out of him last year? 4 games. So a healthier version of him. Their defense, I'm going to say, is going to take a step back because it's not Belichick anymore. A lot of moving parts. Like you said, injuries. But I think the defense is close to what it was last year. But I think Alex Van Pelt is a better OC than you had in place last year. And I think the quarterback situation is significantly better than it was last year. And we all know there's no more important position in all of sports than the quarterback position. So if you upgrade that position, it's hard for me to look at a football team that got better at quarterback and say they're worse.
Okay. This is why they play the games, right? We'll find out.
I love the Drake.
I love you. I'm in love with the Drake May.
You don't like the Drake? I hate the Drake.
I love the Drake.
How could you not like the Drake? Who's the Drake?
Who's the Drake?
The Drake is good. I love the Drake. Love the Drake.
Got to love the Drake. Boy, I'm really starting to dislike the Drake.
Hate the Drake. I told you the Drake was bad. I hate the Drake.
A lot of potential to use those throughout the season, Joe.
Oh, yes.
The Drake talk has just begun.
Let Drake rake.
Is that what we're going with?
Let Drake May Day. I don't know. Some guy sent me a bunch of them the other day, like with like logos and everything.
Oh, logos. There we go.
No. It was pretty wild. All right. Well, Alex Van Pelt spoke a lot today. Let's do the article. Let's do the article bit. Why don't we do the article bit?
Let's do the article bit.
Do the article bit. Skaz did an article with Jay Stu about the Celtics. It was a draft. We'll do that coming up next. Final headline of the night now.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, no Red Sox tonight. They're off tomorrow, until tomorrow, when they take on Arizona. Patriots had practice today. Drake May took a few snaps with the starters. Venarian Lowe has an upper body injury, so therefore... All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Up. Just to catch everybody up, Matt McCarthy will be in tomorrow night. I'll be on with Felger and Maz. I believe it's Felger and Big Jim. So, pending my allergies, I should be there, though, because I'm a trooper. So tomorrow night, you get Matt McCarthy and Skaz. Speaking of Skaz, he did a collab with one James Stewart. And this is the best Celtics player since the beginning of 98.5, the Sports Up. So the Sports Up started August of 2009. So therefore, anything on the 2008 team doesn't count. So it has to be 2009 and on. So, James Scaramazino, my question for you is, since you were doing a draft, let's start forward. Who was your first pick and who was Jay Stu's first pick?
Yes, so Jay Stu was nice enough to let me have the first pick in this draft. And a little deliberation, but not much. I thought this was a pretty clear 1-1 for Celtics over the last 15 years. I took power forward Jason Tatum in the 2022-23 season. Probably Tatum's best all-around season. I think he was obviously great last year as well, but just not asked to do as much.
He scored 30 points a game, didn't he?
Yeah, 22-23, averaged 30 points, basically 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Played 74 games, 4th All-Star team. He was All-NBA first team again. That was his second. His third one would be this year. So, yeah, a little deliberation there, but I thought first overall, best Celtic of the last 15 years. No doubt in my mind, Jason Tatum last season. No, not last season, 2 seasons ago.
Jay Stu took Paul Pierce, his 2010-11 season.
Took the 2010-2011 Paul Pierce, who I also had up there. Pierce was an all-star that year, averaged about 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Great Paul Pierce year. Getting a little older there, but yeah, I had that version of Pierce right up there.
So in the second round, then, so how it works is you got the first pick, he got the second pick, and then he gets the first pick the next round?
Yeah, snake draft. So Jay Stu, second round, first pick. He went with 2010-2011 Ray Allen. You got to read the write-up to get the real Jay Stu effect because it's...
Well, he did break the NBA Finals record for threes, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. That was when they lost in the finals that year?
Yeah, they lost in the finals that year.
Yeah, so Ray was still awesome. He was 35 at the time, but still, 49% from the field, 44% from three, averaged 17 points per game. So, yeah, top 5 shooter in NBA history, Hall of Famer. No complaints there. This one, second pick for me, I had to maybe a tiny bit of bias here. My favorite Celtic ever. I took 2009-2010 Rajon Rondo. Rondo was unbelievable.
Didn't he play almost every game?
That season played almost every game. 14 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Played 81 games. I think that was his first All-Star selection that year. So that was when the big three was getting a little older and Rondo was starting to take over. So for me, big Rondo guy, easy pick there. Third round, I took this season's Jaylen Brown, 23-24.
So just hold up. So right now you have Rondo at point guard. At small forward, you have Jaylen Brown, and at power forward, you have Jason Tatum.
Yes, we had to pick. So the way we did it, because our rosters would have been basically identical, is you had to pick a certain year, and you had to fill out the positions that they actually played that season.
So, and then Stu's team is Paul Pierce
and Ray Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, you're seeing maybe the age difference there a little bit in our drafts.
And then he's probably gonna, I assume, take Kevin Garnett.
Yeah. So I took Jalen.
So he has the big three.
And
you have Jalen and
the Jays with Rondo. So yes, my team basically turned out to be the Celtics this year. I took 2017-2018 Al Horford, but so my team was a little younger Al Horford, not the 3-point shooter that he is now, but he was a stud that year. Just 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, unbelievable defensively. So yes, so my starting 5 ended up being Rondo, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Horford. So basically this year's Celtics with Rajon Rondo leading the way, and Jay Stu's team ended up being Kyrie. He took Kyrie. I thought he might go Isaiah Thomas. That year Isaiah averaged 30, but Kyrie is still Kyrie as much as you don't like him. He took Kyrie, Ray Allen, Pierce, Garnett, and then at center, because he took power forward Garnett, he had Robert Williams, 21-22 season. Rob was unbelievable that year. The poor guy just can't stay healthy.
He's the big next to Garnett.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Garnett
Imagine
Garnett.
that defensive backcourt if, Rob Williams was next to him and not Big Perk.
But that was the key to Garnett, was if he played next to that big, he was outstanding.
Yes, and then we had to pick a six-man. This is where I made a mistake. Jay Stu took Rasheed Wallace, 2009-2010. I took rookie year Marcus Smart, who did come off the bench, 17-18 season.
Marcus Smart's not there are two others I would consider, but Smart's not a bad name.
No, the guy I should have taken if I was, really wanted to pick the best possible team. There was a guy that won Sixth Man of the Year as a member of the Celtics. That would be Malcolm Brogdon, but no, Malcolm Brogdon was left undrafted. So maybe a small blunder there, but yes, I was very happy with how this turned out, and it was a lot of fun to do with Jay Stu.
Who did Stu take for a sixth man?
Rasheed Wallace. Who I've had the pleasure of meeting numerous occasions. Very nice guy. Super nice guy.
So Stu's team was the big three.
Kyrie
Rob
Williams.
So 4 Hall of Famers and Rob Williams with Rasheed off the bench.
Yeah, pretty
who won a
good.
championship.
Pretty good.
Wow. And your team was this year's team with Rondo and Marcus Smart.
I'd like to see that series.
I think his team would win. The only thing that's different is would your team just out-3 them?
Could they out-3 them in the age? That's the only thing. You're getting a little older. I think Pierce would be 33, KG 35, Allen 35-ish, so...
I feel
Rondo would have these guys running, Joe. He would have these boys flying up and down the field.
Rondo wouldn't need to score.
Yes, exactly.
And Rondo was a tremendous rebounder.
Him and Derek White, too.
I know. Like, they would...
And I thought about taking Drew as well, but...
Let me ask you a question. Rajon Rondo or Drew Holiday? I think Rondo might have been the more...
They're just such different players.
They're different players, but I think Rondo had the potential... I think we both think Drew Holiday is going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a Hall of Famer. He retires today, Hall of Famer.
Which would make him ahead of Rondo.
Two gold medals, 2 NBA championships.
But I feel as though Rondo had every potential to be a Hall of Famer and wasn't, which is disappointing. But he's like the one guy I'll point to that everyone makes the Basketball Hall of Fame. I don't think Rondo will. And that's like...
He does have a ring with the Celtics and the Lakers, though. Like that could mean something to the voters.
I just think that Rondo is more of a disappointment for not getting there, which is like you had all the talent in the world, man. Great defender, great passer.
Those Sacramento years you weren't great.
And
I mean, that Bulls team, if he didn't get hurt, that Bulls team was giving the Celtics fits.
Yep. Yeah, no, and another thing about Rondo, he was a hell of a playoff performer.
Hey, remember the national TV stats with Rondo? Like, if they were on TNT, all of a sudden Rondo had a 3-ball. So, yeah, it was a fun exercise with Jay Stu. I'd like to do, maybe some more stuff like that going forward. But, yeah, that was anytime you can do some Celtics content with Jay Stu, you gotta jump at the opportunity.
All right, man. Content creators, huh?
Content, baby, content.
Look at this. Shows combining. I like this. You know what? You ever see those things that they're like memes on Instagram when it's like you only have $15, you need to use these teams, and they have like this guy is $5, this guy's $4.
Yes, yeah.
I wish we could do that kind of version of this.
The ones I like are the blind rankings. I don't know if you've seen this one where you get like a list 1 to 10, and then someone's face pops up. Say it was the NBA, and you have to rank them 1 to 10 blindly. Though you don't know who's going to show up next, so like. If Jaylen Brown shows up first, maybe you put him 3, hoping that, Tatum or LeBron show up in front of him or something like. Those are the ones I like, the blind rankings ones.
Wow, look at that, huh? One show helping out another show?
Hey, one big happy family at the Sports Hub, Joe.
That's right. Hey, listen, we're all we have right now at this point. It's just us.
All alone.
There's nobody else here. But you know what? We do an excellent job at Nights, guys. We have a lot of responsibilities here.
We have fun, Joe.
We have football coming up. Hockey season's right around the corner. The defending champion NBA champions. Celtics get back going.
2 months from tonight, we will have NBA action.
And honestly, I mean this. I'm not just saying that because like we're a part of it. I think we have the best basketball talk post game in the city.
Not a doubt in my mind.
I'm not. Sometimes it's hard to listen to NBA talk in this town, and I think it's because some people don't watch the rest of the league, you know. But I think we do have the best. When Sarone's here, we're rocking, baby. You watch all the games. I'm watching all the games. I think we have the best basketball talk in the city, and I'm gonna flex that one. And obviously, we have the best football talk in town on the station. We have a guy who calls the games literally here with us every day, and nobody can drive it like Mike Felger. So
there you go. You ready for tomorrow, Joe?
Yeah, it's agenda free. So
there you go.
I already got my leadoff take.
I already workshop and air fry.
I already did it. It's all right. I've done it tonight 5 times.
So the email's probably starting any minute now.
You know what I noticed about their show, though? The age demographic. Like, we get some old-timers, too. That show's littered with old-timers, man. I'm talking guys who watched, like, you know.
Guys who saw Yaz.
Yes.
Speaking of Yaz, on his birthday.
Yeah. They're in the baseball. It's littered with them.
Should have said it was Felger's boy, Paul Molitor's birthday today, too, as well. Milwaukee Brewers legend.
I loved him when he was on the Blue Jays when they won the championship. See, I was 10 years old then.
I got a signed Molitor card. I wonder if that's worth anything.
Probably. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I watched the Joe Carter walk-off home run live, and I almost cried. Again, I was 10 years old.
It's got to be like a top 10 sports moment. Has to be.
I think it is.
It might be top 5.
A walk-off home run to win a World Series, dude.
It's what you dream about as a kid.
He was a great player. He probably doesn't get the due that he was worth. That whole team was nasty, man. And if you watch the movie Major League, they reference that. All right, guys, that's it.
That's going to do it, Joe. I'm going to miss you tomorrow, but we'll be well taken care of with McCarthy and Kendra.
We'll be back on Monday to recap everything, the game.
Are you excited to get a look at Jaden Daniels?
I am.
Is he going to play?
If he plays.
I was going to say, is he going to play?
If not, we're going to get Marcus Mariota time, baby.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that.
And who's the kid who played at Notre Dame last year in Wake Forest? Sam Hartman.
Handsome fellow there.
Yep, very handsome.
He's already got head and shoulders.
All right, thanks to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Matt McCarthy is going to be here tomorrow with James Scarmazzino. Same show, just different hosts. That's all it is. I'll be on 2 to 6 with Felger and Big Jim. Thanks, Skaz. I'm Joe Murray. Talk to you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then McCarthy and Skaz tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.